I'm ready.
All right, we're recording session 67, I think. Who would like to give the recap?
Well, we encountered the giant Gorgon and managed to defeat him, which then fell apart into like a 3D puzzle type thing. From there, we entered a room full of frogs. Oh, wait a minute. No, we had another riddle that we had to do first. And then we encountered a room with frogs, and we had to pull an Indiana Jones Yahweh thing with the floor. And then we found another riddle, and then that led into a room where I think that was where the two hallways split off.
Yep.
And there was a plaque that said, I don't remember what it said, but we debated on, we tried to find something in the plaque or through the plaque, couldn't find it. So eventually, after a while, we just decided, fuck it, let's pick a direction. And we went the cold way, which fucked us up, exhausting all of us really badly. But we did find the corpse of the wizard who was missing in the group, and he had a dagger and a note, which basically told us what we needed to know in order to move forward. So we went back and just physically dug our way through the stone.
He also had a staff.
Yes.
That hasn't been identified yet.
That's right. And then we encountered a large dude who wanted to play dragon chess with all kinds of food and like things that we could do to relax and just like, did you really just shut the light off?
I thought you had that light on. It was for effect for your story.
So we tried playing dragon chess and failed miserably at it. And then Aurelia decided dance contests, and then we managed to win the dance contest, which allowed us to progress to the next side, which led us into this room full of oddities, and very much like Cabin in the Woods. I feel like we're just going to choose our destructor with the first thing we touch.
There's a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man in here.
And so that's where we are now.
So yes, you are in a room that is just crammed with knickknacks. They all seem to be relatively well organized. In front of you, there's a white crystal sphere that's on a tripod. It's surrounded by 3 animal skin rugs, one of which looks like it's probably an owlbear skin. You can see the door across from you is the only obvious way out, but it is of a black metal and crackling with electricity. You also don't see an obvious, it's clearly got a lock on it, but the lock itself doesn't seem to have a keyhole in it. The design of the door, though, does have a pentagonal depression in the center of it, but it looks like you basically have to somehow touch the door. And the electricity makes that somewhat dangerous prospect. To your right side, there's a giant stone dragon head that's next to a tiny little sarcophagus. Other than that, there's, they seem to be nothing otherwise happening with them. They don't appear to be magical as far as you could tell. There's a series of portraits hanging around the room that you gathered are the wizards of Malikar's order. There's a display case next to the exit door. It's got 2 crystals in it, a deck of silver cards, and a strange blue metal dagger. There's a writing desk in one corner that has a telescope sitting on it. There's a black hourglass on its side, and several books. There's I guess a table filled with what look like magical potions next to a chest with 2 keys sitting on the floor. And there's a 20-foot long stuffed crocodile in one corner. Around the walls, there are actually hundreds of birds and lizards stuffed that are arranged in somewhat naturalistic patterns. It looks as if it's a little bit artistically designed, but they appear to be real birds that were all taxidermied and stuffed. So how do you want to be destroyed?
I will say that
Old age.
that T-Hole and Nimrod were working together, and they just were called Tim Hole last game. So for reference,
Tim Hole.
That's true.
Tim
Yes.
Hole, yes.
Yeah,
No,
and the door on the way in is actually still open at this point, but there's nothing back there except a short hallway that leads to the door to Obidu Aldiwa's room. He stepped out of sight or turned invisible or something, and that door eventually slammed shut after he ushered you out angrily.
Well, this room has a distinct feel of like an escape room. Just follow the clues till we find our way out.
So Lucirosi would probably move over to the desk with the writing and the notes and everything.
That's on
And
the other side. This is
yeah,
this here is where you are is the potion station. Yeah, that's the writing desk.
Look at this globe.
so Lucirosi would begin like looking through the papers and trying to figure out if any of it makes sense and has to do with what we're trying to accomplish.
So are you going to physically rifle through them, or you're looking?
I don't know. Has Zarius physically started to rifle through the globe or potions?
I mean, I'm looking at this globe. Does the world look familiar?
No, you've never seen. I mean, on your world, the only sort of large scale map you would have seen is of the sort of major continent. But this world seems to have multiple continents, and none of them look like what you would have expected to see.
And I'll just circle it, just to see if there's any markings or anything.
There are markings, however, the alphabet that things are written on this globe in is not one you're familiar with.
Who had the hat that lets them read shit?
Lucirosi.
There's writing on this globe.
Okay. I will turn from the notes just before touching them to look at the globe. What does it say?
The writing on the globe appear to mostly, you would guess, be place names. So they don't have any direct meaning, although some of the larger settlement names you could sort of make out as things like Fairhaven.
Mhm. Are those things that are recognizable to Lucirosi?
I mean, you could recognize that Fairhaven is probably some sort of town or city name. And you can gather from the organization of it, you can gather that some of these things are continent names. Some of them may be nations or regions on the globe.
Okay, but
But
not
none
in
of them are
terms of
familiar.
right, not my familiar geography. Okay.
Right.
They're just names of places, continents, nothing that I'm familiar with, but if this wizard has traveled many planes, many worlds, it's not surprising that it would not be the same as our own.
Are there any like augmentations to this globe?
What do you mean augmentations?
If written on, or fucking holes poked through a location or something like that?
Not that you can see. It appears to just be a globe.
Hmm.
Rusty scampers off and jumps up onto the desk.
Okay, I was wondering what that was.
Yeah, and as I finish with the globe, Lucerosi would return to the desk with the notes to begin seeing what he can find there. And yes, he would start touching and rifling through the notebooks. And
Is there any dust or anything in the room? Does it look like it sat here a while, or somebody's been in here moving stuff around?
You don't see dust, but given the plane you're on, you're not sure where the dust would come
Right.
from.
Yeah.
There wouldn't be the same quantity as in a normal world. And there's also no windows. So, but you don't see any signs that anybody has tracked through anything. So Lucirosi, give me an investigation check.
And a saving throw.
So you find, rifling through the papers, you find that one of the things you're looking at looks like it's probably a spell book, just from the general organization of it. And using your hat, you see that one of the books on the shelves has in blue lettering along its spine, the discoveries.
well, that's surprising. So Lucerosi would just kind of open the book. Then he would take it from the shelf and open it.
Okay.
And now give you saving throw.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So give me a dexterity save.
Of course.
We have to fight another damn book.
Yeah.
So you will take half of, there is a spray of acid in your face as you try to open the book.
That's uncomfortable.
So you take 19 acid damage.
Of all the people to take the acid damage.
Ah! And as Lucerosi screams, you see his face steaming and his fur curling up as he's holding an open book. The book is open, right? Or is it like wherever
the
I
book,
pulled it from?
Yeah, when you open the book, that's when it sprayed you with acid. It has left you, by the way, mildly scarred. You get the sense that it would have caused a major injury if you had not made the saving throw.
All right. Excellent. I have one to add to the one on my chin.
Zarius comes over. He yanks the book from him. What are you doing?
It says it's the discoveries.
It would never be that easy.
You think what we have done here is easy?
I think what we have done here is incomplete.
I mean, perhaps that door that is clearly sealed indicates that there may be more to go, but still, I would not classify what we have encountered along the way as having been easy. Perhaps not what we would expect, given what we've heard of Malikar, but still. Anyways, yeah, it says it's the discoveries. It doesn't mean it is, but it's what it says. Is it legible to Zarius? Can he read the script that says it's the discoveries?
You can't make heads or tails of it.
Okay.
The book remained open. It's not like it's just spewing acid into the room.
No, it was just a burst of acid.
If it was, that's a hell of a fucking weapon we're gonna use. I tell you what.
You haven't tried closing it and opening it again.
Oh, I know.
Yes, very intentional.
Am I able to read? Am I able to understanding the text? Celestial, common.
Right. When
or
you go
by
over there,
common
no,
celestial.
you can't read it either. A lot of the
Serious.
book, you do notice a lot of the book is blank. The first couple pages do have something written on them, but neither of you can read it.
Okay.
Just show it to Lucia Rosie, I guess.
Right. Now, Lucirosi, when you look at it, you realize either it's defeating the magic that lets you comprehend languages, or it's gibberish.
All right. I think that we need to be very cautious as we proceed through this room. It may be that nothing in here is genuine except what we need to enter the door. It is likely everything has some kind of maliciousness.
And didn't I forgot the name of one of the wizards. Didn't they tell us that the discoveries would be kept closely by Malikar? So it's unlikely that the real discoveries would be away from his person.
Yeah, but was that the jerk one that tried to poison us?
That's Belgrec.
Yeah, I forgot to put that in the summary. Somebody tried Belgrec's potion and discovered that it heals 1 hit point and poisons you.
T-Hole, I don't think the discoveries are with Malikar. Either Malikar would physically be here or he is traveling somewhere. I think the wizards did not believe Malikar is even here anymore, at least some of them.
Well, Lavinia did give you a letter for him, so she was planning for the possibility that he might be here.
Yeah. Regardless, I think it's clear that this room was intentionally set up to look as if it was Malikar's lab.
Just search for any
It seems
exposed
reasonable.
writing. Something that we might be able to decipher. Gain clues for our exit from this place.
Well, be cautious with anything that you touch. If the book was able to spray acid upon it being opened, there may be other similar traps.
I'm gonna take that book and I'm gonna close it.
Okay.
Where the lightning-ish door is on the side, right?
Yep.
I'm just gonna like stand back a little bit and like open it away towards
It
the
does-
door.
Right. Nothing happens. It does not explode in acid again.
Maybe the triggering is
There could be
not
a
opening
recharge
the
period.
book, but a face looking into it.
Or maybe there's a recharge period, or it's spent.
Or it's intelligent and has just decided that it doesn't want to spray.
So if you're looking for writing, the only things you see where there might be writing is there appears to be something written on the silver cards. There are papers around the desk that also appear to be sort of maps and notes. And then there's the rest of the books. They haven't been gone through thoroughly yet.
Perhaps there's something underneath the rugs.
It's like a telescope.
Yeah, that's a telescope and an hourglass.
Hourglass on its side. There's some papers here, or are these the maps?
Those are the maps.
What is the fox thing doing?
It's,
Oh, it was scampering around the desk. But after it was a little bit startled when you got sprayed in the face with acid, so it would have run back to Aurelia and ducked inside her cloak again.
Yeah, that's probably smart.
So do the portraits look like they're affixed to the wall?
They are all affixed to the wall.
does it look like you could like if I walked up to, or Teal walked up to one, would I be able to like kind of jiggle it and try to take it off?
I mean, you could certainly try.
I'm gonna go up to Malikar's portrait.
Okay. So
Which
Malikar's portrait
maybe-
is different than the others. The others are all sort of, it's just they seem to be affixed portraits. Malikar's portrait appears to be covered in some sort of illusion that's causing his face to shift from one form to another. They all appear to be variations on the same face, but some of them are more lich-like. Sometimes the hair color changes, sometimes the eye color changes. It'll become slightly older or slightly younger, sometimes very young, although most of them are pretty elderly. And it seems to just be variations of one human face across multiple universes. But as you come up to it, the face freezes in a form that's sort of halfway transformed between a lich and an old human man with a full white beard. And he says, "Leave my citadel now." And you have to make me a wisdom save.
Or just start walking away.
So I didn't. So is that before I touched it, or is that like just
That
as I was
is
walking?
that is when you got up to it, like right when you were reaching out to touch it.
Oh man, that's well, after seeing what happened with the acid in the face, I don't know if I want to. I might use. I think I'm going to use an action point here. I know it's early in the night, but there we go.
And you do briefly feel like, hey, that's a good idea. But then you shake that off.
So T-Hole will respond. We've come to pass your tests.
Do we all hear?
Yeah,
The
you all hear
voice.
the voice.
Okay.
The image of Malikar begins to again start shifting through all of its various forms.
Trust me, you would leave. It's kind of crappy here.
If I like kind of try to shift the portrait, like to try to take it off the wall, am I able to? Is it like kind of stuck to it?
It appears as though it's fastened from behind. It's not stuck though. It is probably a matter of twisting it in some way, shape, or form to get it to release from the whatever's tacking it to the wall. So if you give me like a dexterity check to see if you can get it off the wall without damaging it. If you don't care
Yeah,
about
I'm gonna do
damaging it,
that.
you could just rip it off the wall.
Well, don't want to make a bad impression after being told to leave. So yeah,
So
I'm
yeah,
gonna
you
try
are
to-
you initially apply a little pressure to just try to pick it off the wall, and you realize it must not be simply hanging on like a single nail. But you are able to twist it and free it, and you can see that there are two little brackets in the wall that this thing, two rivets in the back of the painting were resting in. But you get it off the wall. It
Okay.
continues, the illusion continues to shift the image from one form to another.
I'm just gonna turn it around so like the Malikar, the Malikar's portrait's facing the wall, and just kind of rest it against and set it down, just so that nobody else accidentally walks by it.
So you set it down.
I was wondering if there was, or secretly hoping that there might be some sort of clue behind the portraits, though there still may be of the others. Malikar just seemed the most obvious one.
Lucios is gonna come to this rug here and kind of investigate it, look around it, and then carefully try and pry it up.
You do hear, so the rug you realize is, it's not like one-sided skin. Apparently somebody took two sides of the skin of this animal and sewed them together. And you could feel that there are little bits of metal weighting it down inside, but there doesn't seem to be anything under it.
Okay. So there's metal inside the skin.
Yeah.
Do they have like, if I feel them, do they have any kind of discernible shape or impression that I get feeling for the metal?
There's a lot of pieces of metal inside the rug,
Okay.
and there are various different shapes. Most of them you would gather are roughly circular.
Okay.
Again, ritually casting detect magic.
Lush Rosie would move on to this one next to see if it's the same. And to see if
Yeah,
there's
you
anything
discover
beneath
that
it.
one. That one is also the same.
And nothing beneath it.
Right.
And this one.
And it's identical. You don't find anything underneath of it, but there's a lot of metal inside of it.
Mhm. All right. I'm not quite at the point where I need to feel like I need to tear things apart and ransack it, but it is a good mental note. Do the pieces of the metal that I'm feeling from these ones seem like they are the same as this
Yeah,
one?
roughly. Most of them are circular. There's an occasional like longer bar, like a
Okay.
rectangular shape.
All right.
And what's Aurelia doing while they're searching the paintings and rugs? Or a painting in rugs?
Just watching what everyone's doing and trying to stay away from Lucerosi moving these rugs so I'm not too close in case something came out and attacked.
Smart.
You mean the rugs
Smart.
themselves? Whenever they come
Yes.
up and attack?
Yeah, that too.
Those these animatronic fucking rugs come at us.
Thought we were playing D&D, not Five Nights at Freddy's.
A little bit of both.
Probably.
So are the other paintings the people in his group?
One of them you've not seen before, although it might be the dead guy you found in the hallway. But otherwise, yes, it appears to be the people you had already met. Baelgrak and Lavinia, Hrimmer, and Meriden.
What kind of, are they just in regular poses? Do they look normal? I mean, I think you said the female, her face wasn't burned or something.
Right. So she had been scarred in some sort
Right.
of accident, so was wearing a mask over half of her face. She also looks, the painting is also of her from a few years back. So she looks a good bit younger, probably at least 10 years younger than she is now. So, but it's her without her mask. They all appear to be in very similar clothing to what you've seen them in, though. All of the wizards are in black except for Hrimmer, who's in some sort of bright colored green getup. And the wizard whose body you found, he was in a red robe.
Okay.
They do have, there is some writing on the paintings. They do identify them by name, so you
she's
can
under
be
my desk.
sure of who it is.
Okay.
And the wizard whose body you found is Valka Skirgala of Kryn.
Okay.
Now, is Skirgala a last name or a title?
If it's a title, it's one you don't know.
Yeah, Skirgala of Kryn. What the fuck is that? Yeah. Just gonna see what might pop up here.
So are people just waiting for 10 minutes is a long time in this room. People just
I'm
waiting.
gonna go to T-Hole would like go to the other paintings and start
Okay.
also trying to, one, see if they also try to assault him. Two, and if not, just take him off the walls.
So yeah, you now know the trick to taking them off the walls. Nothing seems to happen as you approach the other paintings. So you're able to lift them up and out of the brackets that they're in.
So there's nothing behind them.
No, just wall, just those. Each has these two little mounting brackets. That's about it.
And I'm gonna go look around. I'm gonna look around on either kind of jump around from desk to desk from here because I'm closest to there, then to this one, and to this one, and I'm gonna see if I can find an object that could match like the pentagonal imprint that's on the door. Or
So
like,
on the desk that's closest to you, this is the one that looks like it's an alchemical station. There are several potions, all of which look to be identical in bottles. The bottles are of different shapes, and one of the bottles is of a very similar pentagonal shape at its base.
I'm gonna grab that one and kind of hold it aloft. Is there a light source in this room?
Yeah, the whole room is brightly lit, although it's not entirely clear where the light is coming from. There have been these crystal
Gotcha.
torches in most of the other rooms, but this one, the light just seems to be magically produced. It's definitely coming down from the ceiling, but it seems to be sort of evenly lit throughout the room.
Gotcha. So I can't like hold it and like look at it through a light and see,
Right. There's no specific light source in the room itself, so you'd have to produce light on your own.
I mean, I have my torch. It's in my bag.
What color is the liquid?
All of the potions appear to have, they appear to be just a gray liquid.
Gray, like sludge.
Yeah.
So I would.
I mean, I wouldn't
would bring this
necessarily.
over.
They don't look solid. It's more like water filmed in black and white, like it's somehow been drained of color. But there's nothing floating in them, so it's a clear gray liquid.
That's cool. It's in my head canon, it's like as you look at it through like it just the world becomes gray, black and white.
It literally does seem like it drains the color out of whatever you're looking at through the liquid itself.
That is really cool. I like that. I'm stealing that for some other game.
So I would bring this over to Xerius and remark. It seems this potion bottle has the same or similar imprint as that on the door. What do you make of this?
You chanting? I guess. I don't know. I don't know how long it's been.
Yeah, it's not been 10 minutes yet.
Oh, sorry. I didn't realize he was chanting.
Yeah, I'm ritually casting detect magic.
So Teal would have still have done that, but then like Xerius would just have ignored him and just like been
100% busy. Like this
And
is
then
not
he
an
would just wait a
unusual thing
minute.
for him to do either. Like
Just wait a minute, yeah, whatever.
So obvious answer is obvious. So Lucerosi is going to go over by this chest with the keys, just kind of check them out.
So there's a gold key and a silver key and a lock on the chest.
Is there anything about the keys that seem like one of them may be a better fit for the chest without actually having to touch them?
No. In fact, they look physically identical except for the color of the metal itself.
Right. What to do? All right, well, we're not gonna get anywhere by not doing things. So Lucirosi will, because this one has a gold lock, right? The
Yes,
chest has a gold lock.
it does have a gold lock.
All right. I can tell by your smirk something's about to happen.
Only that I could see a very Princess Bride. Well, the gold key must fit the gold lock, but that's what Malikar wants us to think. So therefore, the
Yes.
silver key fits the gold lock.
This is actually going through my head very much, yes.
Lucharosi, if you
Get this, they're both poisonous.
if you want me to open it up, in case there's anything foul that happens, you've already disfigured your face enough in this room.
It does still hurt. If you wish, but I will stand close just in case anything should happen.
Which key should I choose?
I was going to try the gold one, but you are opening it. I think you should be the one to choose.
Well, gold one it is, and I'll snatch it up and insert it into the lock.
Okay. So as you insert it into the lock, make me a Constitution saving throw as you feel something jab you in your hand.
You get a +3 bonus. Doesn't matter.
Sweet.
Do you want to use your other action point?
Yes.
Oh my
11.
god.
So you take this much. This is poison damage.
Oh, at least I'm not poisoned. Well, I can't be poisoned anyway.
Wait, why can't you be poisoned?
Because he's a monk.
As stillness of mind. Or no, purity of
Not
body.
that one.
I'm immune to disease and poison.
That's interesting. Does that then make you immune to poison damage?
What does it? Does it say you're immune to poison or to the poison condition?
In purity of body, I thought it was just a poison condition, but not poison damage. At least that's the way I've always interpreted it. I could be wrong.
So sage advice is saying that it makes you immune to both the poison condition and poison damage.
Okay,
All right.
I'll go with that.
It's
So
from
you
Jeremy
can
Crawford,
definitely feel that there is a burn in your hand. It doesn't actually inflict damage on you, but you can tell whatever the needle was that came out must have been coated in something.
Ouch. Just kind of shake my hand. Can I tell where it came out of? Like, did it come out of the key?
No,
Or-
it came out of the mechanism of the lock itself. As you stuck it in, one section of the lock, a little hole next to the lock itself shot a needle out. And then the needle is still sort of poking out of the box.
Are you okay, T-hole?
Yeah. It's just a flesh wound. So I'll continue and turn the key.
Okay. You hear the click as the lock unlocks.
And I'll throw the chest open.
And T-hole and Lucharosi make me dexterity saves.
You can add 3 to your save, Dustin.
Nice.
So you both make it. There is an eruption of fire as you open the chest, and you each take 16 fire damage.
I
Well, no,
don't take any.
I'm sorry. Right, you have evasion, so you don't take it. So T-Hole has come out of this fine after taking over responsibilities for Lucirosi. Lucirosi would have suffered some poison damage, though. Inside the
You
chest,
okay?
you see there is just a pile of gold.
That's not helpful.
Would you look at that?
Hmm.
I'll like kind of look through the gold, to see like kind of assuming it's coins.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're gonna touch the gold?
Well, I was gonna like I was kind of interested in seeing like what imprints are on them, like if there's any symbols like from the coinage that I can. I guess I'm assuming that like since Malikar is from based off everything, we don't see anything from our home world, so I wouldn't imagine that there's any of that. But I would just, I guess, looking for clues, of seeing if there's anything on the coins that would.
Let's be honest. T-Hole is really looking for his own face on the coins.
So yeah,
In
give me an
some universe.
give me an investigation check. You do not find your face on the coins. They
Damn.
are all in a script that you can't recognize, but you're sure even the shape of the coins is odd, as most of these gold pieces are triangular. So you've never seen coins of this particular sort before. Although you would guess there's probably about 2,500 gold in this chest.
Well,
it's
not helpful for us now, but
no, not helpful at all. As
I'm just laughing like retrospectively, like us being 2,500 gold. That doesn't help us. In any D&D campaign, it's like shit. That's the last thing we need right now.
It's gonna be later. It's gonna be way later on. Like, man, you know what we could really use right now? 25,000 gold.
as Lucirosi is smoking from chemical and fire burns.
So now your detect magic goes off. So the globe that you were looking at is not magical. It is a mundane globe. The chest is also not magical. You detect a sort of fading magic about it from the trap that just got set off.
Right.
The Discoveries is still magical, that book.
Okay.
And it's evocation magic. The silver deck of cards is highly magical. The blue dagger in the display case is not magical. The two crystals are magical. There's something magical in the mouth of the dragon. If you would like to look very closely in the mouth of the dragon.
I'll focus on it and see what kind of magic.
It's conjuration magic.
Okay. Got it.
There doesn't seem to be anything magical about the sarcophagus behind it. There's magic on several of the books in the bookcase still, but most of them are mundane. There's just like 5 other books, and that spell book that Lucirosi found seemed to be magical. The telescope is magical. The hourglass is magical. All of the potions are magical. Let's see what else. Obviously, the exit door is magical. I think that's everything. The portrait of Malikar is, of course, magical too. Illusion magic and enchantment.
Okay.
Oh, and the orb in the center of the room is magical, but you could
Right.
tell that from the fact that there is some white milky liquid swirling within it that doesn't seem to be stopping.
So I guess I'll focus on that. What can I determine a school of magic there?
Enchantment,
Nobody's touched it yet, right?
right?
We've only looked at it.
Right. I would, so far, nobody's even, like, you've seen it. Nobody's like looked at it deeply.
Mm. I forget. What about the fucking alligator here?
Yeah. Okay. I forgot those two. All of those are magical. It's all conjuration magic. All of the rugs and the alligator are magical.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I'll convey that. I got 10 minutes with this thing. What about the anvil?
The anvil isn't magical, just there.
Okay. So things that are not magical. That's what I have interested in. Things that are not magical.
So the chest is
No longer
not magical anymore. And its magic was probably just the fire trap
Right.
that went off. The
Yeah.
sarcophagus in the corner is not magical. Most of the knickknacks on the writing desk are not magical, nor is the desk itself. 5 of the 6 portraits are not magical.
Like to point out that just because the sarcophagus is not magical, that does not mean it does not contain magic, since it may be blocked by detect magic.
The
depending
cheetah
on
lid.
thickness. Yeah.
And the globe is not magical. Also, the desk the potions are on is not magical.
Okay.
Actually, give me a perception check, Zarius.
Alrighty.
Standing next to the dragon statue, the dragon head statue, is just a field of magic, illusion magic.
Like right here?
Yes,
Okay.
but it just seems to be sort of hovering in the air.
When T-Hole was taking portraits off the wall, since there's a portrait here, would he have run into that?
You didn't notice it. So
Okay.
whatever it was, it wasn't something that you noticed when you were interacting with it. You probably passed through the same section of the room, or brushed against it at least.
Hmm. Okay. So I'll just, take a quick
You
stock.
communicate that to us about what's
Yeah, I'll
magical
tell
and-
everybody, these everything but these things are magical.
Lucius Rossi carefully steps off of the rug. And he's going to go over to the globe and try to see, because he's heard about globes that are used for as drink stations and things, or have hidden compartments. So he's going to see if there's anything like that in there.
Give me an investigation check.
Looking for Malikar's whiskey stash.
12.
You do find that one of the panels will slide away, and inside there do appear to be bottles of alcohol.
Okay.
With
So
it
I'll
open, I'll
pull
glance over.
a couple out.
Magic concealed inside.
It
this thing?
appears as though there are 5 bottles inside. They all appear to be some sort of different alcohol, but none of the bottles are labeled, so you can't really tell what they are.
Right.
And the door to the room that you came through slams shut.
In response to me sliding that out.
No, just at around the same time, not necessarily in response, but maybe. You notice that the
Coincidence.
inside of the globe is lined with a thin sheet of lead.
Well, that's what, well, now
So,
that thing's open,
While
I'll
while you're
glance
pulling
over.
those things out, what was Zarius doing?
Well, I was gonna start taking stock of the books that are not magical.
Okay, give me an investigation check.
Oof. We don't want that. Investigation. Yeah, all right.
So you can't read them, but you can tell all of these books are probably fairly expensive. Or at least, they would be, but a lot of them look like they've over the years maybe taken an acid splash.
Or perhaps
So
even
that
recently.
so that there are the one spell book that Lucia Rossi found, and then the 5 other magical books all appear to be undamaged, but most of these books look like maybe they got hit with this stuff over time.
Hmm.
Well, that's interesting.
Magical books are impervious to the acid.
But you understand what this means, right? We're
We're
not
not the only
first,
ones here. We're
we're-
not the
we're-
first here.
right? We're not the first to have gotten this far. I guess I had assumed that we had gotten farther than the other wizards when we saw the body of Valkis. But
And Nimrod chimes in and says, well, technically, we're only assuming this is our first time through.
I suppose that's true as well. But the wizards didn't seem like to have any indication that we have attempted this before. Though they may just be fucking with us.
Yeah, or
Was
they,
that the sense I got?
No, you didn't get it. You didn't get that sense that they were fucking with you.
Well, I believe they were genuine. But perhaps others have found their way through their castle to this place. Okay.
I'm sorry, I gotta be right back. My cat just laid a duker that is just destroying the entire house.
Brand new house. Gotta break it in.
Gotta save the house.
Anytime we move anything, the cat starts shitting all over the place.
Cat, this is like, you thought that acid splash was bad.
So hourglass. Magical.
That's magic. Yes, that's magical.
What type?
That is transmutation.
Let's not touch that one. Fuck. This fucking telescope.
Telescope is enchantment.
Okay. And I can't tell. Looks like a drumstick.
That's just a ruler.
Okay.
It appears to be non-magical.
And the stuff that it's on here look like a book.
Yeah, that
Right.
is a book. It appears to be in relatively good shape, although you can't read what it says.
I'll
It's not
gingerly.
magical.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna pick it up
So you pick it up.
and bring it to Lucia Rossi. It was already open like that, like it shows.
Yes.
Is there anything on this page?
You're muted.
You're muted.
Lucia Rossi looks at it.
You can read it. It appears to be a history of some place called Thay.
Okay. It's just a history. It doesn't seem relevant to what we are trying to do.
No hidden codes. A codex of sort.
Well, it's a
If-
long book. It would take a while to read.
Right.
Just on this page.
If it is some code, I don't know how you expect me to decipher it. I mean, the magic of this helm allows me to understand the words, but it may not translate all the subtleties within the language or the script.
This particular page actually seems to deal with restrictions on the ability of wizards to build towers in certain sections of Thay, wherever Thay is.
Mhm. So
As
I'll-
apparently there are elaborate rules in order to avoid wizards fighting with each other.
I'll communicate that to Zarius. It's some kind of book describing laws to prevent wizards from fighting and regulating their towers. Wherever this history is from, apparently wizardly magic is more common than in our own world.
Suddenly getting the idea I can turn this into my like Silmarillion of the Tolkien. Maybe Tolkien had just stolen a history book from someplace else. From another dimension.
So what's T-Hole doing during this?
Teal would be kind of drawn to the milky sphere in the middle, and would look deeper into it.
What was the magic there again?
Enchantment.
Enchantment. Careful.
So as you gaze,
Remember, I was gonna say, remember, for Kurt, enchantment means anything that's
right, anything that I can't otherwise identify is enchantment. That is why +1 weapons, radiant enchantment.
Sure.
Let me send a message to Teal though. Oops.
Nice. Did I lose anything? Because I was at full.
Right, you probably didn't. So never mind.
Used to see if people looked over, like Nimrod might be looking over, you would just see T-Hole kind of lazily smiling at this globe. Did what I see, were they mine?
Yeah.
Like they were mine. So yeah, he just sees he's just smiling. He's like, this must be a happiness globe.
What do you mean a happiness globe?
It when I looking into it, I see happy. I see some of my happiest memories. See the day I ascended the throne.
Be careful. It could be intoxicating you or hoping to lower your defenses as we encounter more in this room. Continue to be on your guard, T-Hole.
Yeah, of course. Then I would just move to the next
Lucirosi
magical
says
item.
Lucirosi says that knowing what a heathen T-Hole is, and then he would just probably disrobe and stand in front of the globe all day.
Maybe the memories get happier if you can touch every part of your skin with its light. So where's the hole going next?
Just jokingly to the next magical item.
So what's Aurelia doing during this as T-Hole is staring into the globe and smiling? Still just watching?
I moved away as soon as I saw T-Hole begin to stare at the globe.
Okay. And Lucirosi, were you doing anything with booze?
No, I was just putting it back, even though it seems like booze, it might be poison. Otherwise, Lucirosi would greatly appreciate a drink. But he is going to step around these pelts and just kind of step closer to the door and do a closer examination of it.
Okay.
Without touching it or getting too close to these arcs of energy that seem to be flowing about the door.
So there do seem to be intricate sets of runes that are very tiny that are scrawled across the door. They're separated at about 6-inch intervals, roughly. They are incredibly fine, but when you get close to the door, you can see that what looked essentially like just little dots at a distance are separate characters. They appear to just be arcane sigils.
So my helm doesn't help translate any of those.
Right.
Okay. Based on the sigils that I'm seeing on the door, is there anything that I've already seen around the room that kind of matches it, or any that I might recognize?
The sigils, no, there's nothing you would recognize there. Really, the only thing about the door that looks likely to be a clue is that pentagonal figure in the center of it. But you haven't, other than the one bottle from the potion, you haven't seen anything that's pentagonal.
Okay.
So what's Zarius doing now that he's identified the book?
Well, he's gonna. I'm gonna put the book in my bag.
So make me an investigation check, or I'll let you make a perception check. You're better at those.
Sure am. But not if I roll shit.
So you notice
So-
nothing.
Okay, yep, I sure do. That cauldron there.
That was not magical as well.
Okay. Instead of putting the book in my bag, I'm gonna put the book in the cauldron.
Okay. You successfully put the book in the cauldron.
Delightful. Now I'm gonna come over here and just sort of examine this floating illusory thing.
And as you turn back to it, you realize it's not there anymore.
The book.
No, the illusory blob that you couldn't identify the source of.
I will look around the room.
Yeah, you don't see anything like it anywhere. There's still illusion coming from the painting in the far corner
Right.
or across the room, but you don't see anything hanging in the air anymore.
There was a cloud of illusion, magic in this vicinity, but it has disappeared.
What do you mean a cloud of illusion?
Through my detection of magic, I could see it here before.
No,
It
I
was-
understand the spell. You've used it before.
It
But
was
what do you
hovering in
mean by-
space. Like, how high up was it?
It was, I mean, it was a large blob. So it was, from the floor to 5 feet.
So now you've lost it. It's not there anymore.
It has disappeared.
Perhaps someone was spying on us.
Or perhaps it's been responding to our movements. Lucirosi will get closer to this corner and see if he notices anything interesting about it.
Just looking, like with your eyes.
Well, I'm gonna move around too. Try to just kind of swipe at the air.
Yeah, you don't find anything either.
Yeah. Actually, I wouldn't swipe in the air. I'd use that that staff that we pried from Belkis.
Yeah, it doesn't uncover
Incredibly
anything,
magical
though.
stuff.
All right, well, there was a cloud, as you put it, of illusion in this corner. It's gone now. So not much we can do about it now. Just keep your eyes peeled, Zarius. Let us know if it returns.
I'm going to very, very cautiously sort of peek. I'm keeping my distance even, like peek into the mouth of this dragon.
Yeah, Luciosi's going to walk on by as he does that.
It's not even going to help me with the saving throw boost.
Oh no, I did that with T-Hole and I paid for it, so. Plus, you haven't asked me. I don't know what you're doing.
I'm clearly looking into the mouth of this dragon, which I said contains some form of magic.
Yeah, well. Yeah,
So, looking into the mouth of the dragon, you could see that the very back of its mouth is pitch black, and you can't see anything inside it. So it looks like there's a deeper hole in the back of it, but you're not sure where it leads.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Perhaps if you reach an arm in.
We'll take one of the non-magical knickknacks from the table and toss it in. Oh, in fact, so before I do that,
that just tells you it disappears. It doesn't tell you
yeah,
that it's
I
disintegrated.
have the light cantrip. I'm gonna cast light on this non-magical knickknack and then toss it in.
So you toss it in, and the moment it crosses the threshold of the black circle at the back of the throat, the light disappears. You, however, do hear something clatter inside.
Okay.
How big does it seem to be?
It's about a foot across.
Yeah, no.
Does Zarius have dark vision?
No.
Nope.
Although it's a good bet that anything that has magical light cast on it, if you can't see the light anymore, your dark vision wouldn't have cut through it either.
Teal's going to summon his visage. And his face starts to glow. And he's going to look through, so to cut through that magical darkness, if it can be cut through.
So yeah, you see that there is a cavity behind it, and you can see the light glowing off of this object, even though the light doesn't penetrate the darkness. Because you can see through magical darkness, that is.
Can I tell if there's anything in there besides that object? Is it?
That's the only object you see. So what did you throw in there, just so we know?
I don't know. What do we have?
I mean, there are ink pots and quills and the ruler. There's a pendulum.
What is it that you're looking for?
Just something that he threw into this hole in the back of the dragon statue mouth.
Sure, the ruler.
So you can see the glowing ruler laying on the bottom.
It's
The
actually
depression
still
itself only goes in about a foot.
Well, it seems to be empty. Besides the ruler you just tossed in there. At least, so as far as non-living things, this says nothing about if something with it's living, if it passes through the threshold. I don't know if I'm quite ready to try sticking my hand in the mouth of a giant stone dragon right now.
No, I don't anticipate any of us would be.
Don't suppose we could convince Nimrod to go in there.
No,
T-Hole would like smirk.
I agree with Aurelia's strategy of watching you guys do things. While I stand safely over here by the exit.
So this dagger isn't magical, right?
Right.
Luciros
But the case is sealed, however. It's a
Oh.
glass case.
Is the
Is the
glass
case
magical?
The case didn't detect his magic.
Okay. Is there any way to open it?
It appears as though the lid just lifts up. It's
Okay.
on a hinge at the back.
So I'd lift it and I'd take out the dagger.
The dagger is unusually light. Like you usually expect a dagger to weigh roughly a pound. This weighs maybe an ounce.
So is there anything else unique about the dagger aside from its weight?
It's got a slightly unusual curved shape to it. So it's not like a straight blade, but otherwise, no.
Well,
So it almost
nice.
looks like a sickle. It looks like the picture in the map.
yeah.
It looks sickle-ish.
Well, it's a nice blade, so Luciros will put it on his belt. In a situation like this, I don't anticipate you can ever have too many weapons.
Aerogel knife. He just stabs somebody, just breaks. Doesn't do anything.
So in the door, that pentagon, it's like past. Is it? Did I hear you correctly or understand correctly that it's like past the electrical field?
Yes, it's a depression in the metal of the door. So it does look like something slots in there. It's only about half an inch deep. And appears to be, there doesn't seem to be anything inside it. It's just a flat pentagon.
But it's on the other side of the electrical
Yeah,
thing. Like a,
right. Because that is
Okay.
above the surface of the door.
Actually, you know what? Now that you said that the door just sort of slammed shut, right?
Right.
So,
The,
yeah.
that door, the door you came in.
Does it now detect as magical?
No.
Well, I'm gonna have a quick glance at this sarcophagus.
Zarius, what kind of magic did you say these cards radiated with?
I will focus on them again.
Enchantment. Actually, I would say they are complex. They are the brightest source of magic in the room.
Yeah.
You can detect each of the varieties of magic in them.
I believe that is similar to the deck of cards that we've once found before.
Does it look like similar cards?
No, these are much smaller. These are more like the size of regular real world playing cards. If it weren't for the fact that the deck is kind of off center, it might look like a single bar of silver, but they are sort of scattered around slightly so that you can see that these are apparently very thin sheets of silver.
Hmm. And Zarius, you said that these radiate with more magic than anything else.
Yes.
Then it could be they are the most dangerous object in the room, or the one that we need most.
Indeed.
if you have any
Which
thoughts
Rosie-
about picking it up, Lucirosi,
What's that?
if you have any thoughts about picking it up, you probably shouldn't.
Rosie takes a deep breath. And
What's the worst that can happen, though?
right, he goes to pick them up.
Teal puts his hands over his face, but
You're standing. We're both standing right there. It's like, oh shit, let's walk. Hold on, let's move.
So as you reach around and touch the cards, you see immediately 5 of the cards shoot out and form a pentagon around the rest of the deck. And roll me a D1000.
D1000.
Oh God, is this something where there's a possibility of the star exploding?
No, there's no chance of a star exploding. Although I know that list too.
Okay.
I just want to
I
examine
don't
the
see a way of
sarcophagus.
rolling a D1000.
Just /R
Slash R.
1D1000.
Oh, okay. Okay. /R D1000. Unrecognized command.
Really?
/R space.
Ah, that's
One
right.
Yeah,
one
did you put the space there?
D1000.
There you go.
847.
847.
Let's see what
That's a
happens.
pretty high number,
Yeah, it's really high.
Lucky 847.
right? I didn't know that was my lucky number.
Is that a prime number? That'd be cool. No, it's not.
I think so.
Oh.
The cards flash. I guess I'll just send you a message.
Okay.
And everybody dies except for you.
Or I die horribly as everybody watches in
No, I think
sort
the,
of
I
math.
think the bigger punishment would be everybody else dies except for you.
It would
No.
hang heavy on Lucerosi's heart, especially the loss of Nimrod, who is the key to saving his soul.
You know, and you never quite had the chance to truly convert that heathen Zarius.
Wow. It was a good run. I'll miss you, Zarius.
I will miss your ability to stop me from being critically hit. Such a strange room. I bet now that door's open, we could just walk, like closed, we could just walk through that. That's the actual exit now.
Just need to see if we can. Just looking for like a giant pair of rubber gloves, just so you could like reach through the electrical field.
So you guys see Lucirosi just kind of suddenly go still, and you kind of see him looking around, and there's a sort of calm that comes over him and a smile, and
Is he looking at the ball?
No,
That-
he's picking up the cards.
that
I know.
was unexpected.
We roll for initiative.
I would be cautious with these cards. I don't think that they have anything to do with the door, but that was much more pleasant than I expected.
Okay, I'm gonna insight that. I don't believe it. At disadvantage. Yeah, absolutely. It was most honest thing I've ever heard him say. I can't believe how sincere he is.
What happened?
I had a vision, or perhaps a memory. It seemed like perhaps a vision of the future, and a hopeful one. I feel good. I feel confident. I think that we are on the right path.
Oh, do you? Do you have a path for us?
Did you see?
Do you gain insight into our way out of here?
No, unfortunately, it was not something like that. Much more distant in the future. At the very least, I believe I will survive this.
A hopeful vision indeed.
I mean, I did not see any of you, but that does not mean that we did not all come out of this. I'm mumbling now. And you could tell Lucirosi kind of has almost like a glee about him.
This would be about the time when you also realize that as the vision hit you, you sort of kind of stopped what you were doing. And so you, in fact, have not picked up the deck of cards.
Oh,
The cards that had encircled it are now gone. And the cards are still there in the original position you saw them in.
Wow.
did any of you see the cards move?
What happened after he attempted to, like, those that happened?
All you saw was he reached for them, and then that was it. Then he withdrew his hand
Okay.
after he smiled for a second.
So is the deck still sitting there?
Yep.
I reach for them.
Okay. Roll me a D1000.
I mean, look how great Lucirosi worked well with him. So how do you do that? Slash what?
Slash
R
R
space.
space 1D1000.
Slash R. Lucky 235.
Got a Powerball winner.
That's right. Got to support education somehow.
So as you reach out
I don't
to
even get a
grab,
note. This must not be good.
grab the deck, you all see as she reaches out, you kind of reel back as your fur all begins to turn gray, and they begin to thicken and spread out until in the end you're a cat person covered in coarse, ugly scales. They're kind of a puke green, but they shift in color over the course of your body, giving the impression that it's like puke that's filled with chunks of stuff.
Okay.
Was that some corn?
Oh wow. You might as well just give up all hope of being future Miss Sultan. Don't associate with the puke scales. Sorry.
By Asheros, Aurelia, what has happened to you?
I don't
And
know.
actually, and you do get a little bit of a, everybody saw that. I didn't have to whisper that part to you, but you will get a little message.
T-Hole is partially revolted, but he's manages to only show it through like a slight grimace that then corrects itself into a look of concern.
Oh no.
T-Hold hides the fact that some chunks came up for him. He had to choke him back.
He just threw up on you because he figured it would just come.
So does it looks like it's actual scales, like furry scales?
It literally to your eye looks like it could be vomit, because it's very shiny, wet looking scales, but it's lumpy, so it's a bit more like lizard skin. But when you get close, you realize that yeah, it's just an effect of her hair having transformed into scales.
So she has no more hair.
She does not have any visible hair. She has scales now.
Cat person with the mottled skin of a lizard.
I feel like I imagine Zarius is kind of chuckling to himself, thinking about how Aurelia is going to deal with her first molt.
Are you feeling okay, Aurelia?
Do I look okay?
Not particularly.
No.
There's your answer.
Does she like? Does this seem like a constant magical effect, or is it gone?
So you still have detect magic up. You saw there was a flash of magic around her as it sort of washed over her in a wave, like up her arm and then through the rest of her body. But now that magic has faded. This just appears to be the new normal.
Seem you have been effectively transmuted once more.
Well,
Yeah.
perhaps we can get one of the if we're able to make it alive out of here. Either we can maybe get Malikar to reverse you back to your previous form or one of the wizards downstairs.
One of those jerks. I'd rather stab one of them first.
Imagine we lose, right? We fall asleep, something, and we wake up out there, and we just look, and who the fuck is that? Where is Aurelia? What do you mean I am Aurelia? I don't
Right.
fucking think so.
Oh my God, it ain't Aurelia.
Kill it with fire.
You're so yeah, and so yeah, it's like, for your sake, I hope that we do not lose our memories.
And you also find that you have not picked up the deck.
I'm gonna examine the sarcophagus.
So the sarcophagus is definitely reminiscent of something you might see from ancient Thult. But you realize the iconography is off. It's different. So in line with other things, it may be from a culture that was sort of similar, but ultimately alien even to Thult. But it appears to be, it's only about 4 feet long. So it was either for a child or some small race.
Small space, so just a similar iconography, and that's it, really.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'm gonna fucking disturb this thing. I know it doesn't detect as magical, but that's just no, it's not happening. I'll just, chant a quick, Osiris prayer over it and start to walk away. Even though there's no fucking gods here, apparently, so what's it matter? But imagine that. Maybe I can channel the power of 2 Osiris. Huh? That'd be some shit.
As I'm thinking, Malikar, the other wizards, they said that Malikar designed this as a test for them to see who would be worthy of his discoveries. But I don't think he actually intended anybody to do it, let alone his students, which makes me think perhaps he purposely made this in a way that his students couldn't achieve. I mean, we had to physically burrow through that stone, wondering.
There is magic that can
Huh?
manipulate. There is magic that can manipulate stone.
True, but still, there are some things I don't think would come to a wizard. As Lucirosi eyes that anvil, how heavy is the anvil?
I was also
Weighs
considering that, actually.
It weighs about 150 pounds.
150 pounds.
How thick does that door look?
You can't tell the thickness. I mean, it looks pretty solid. It looks like it's made of adamantium.
Yeah, we ain't just gonna bash through that door. And this just looks like a normal iron, like wrought iron anvil. We might,
All right,
we might
so
disrupt the electricity.
well, technically, so if it's 150 pounds, I could lift it over my head, right? Because it's for something like that, it's 30 times your strength, right?
Right. Well, I mean, you could lift it. I have to look up the rule for what you can lift over your head. You definitely move it. It's within your capability.
Even if it's only the strength times 15, that still
It's
gives
well within.
me,
Yeah,
yeah, it's within my range to lift it.
I would help though. Like I feel like perhaps if we do this simultaneously.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Fine shot put.
Yes, perhaps if we, I know that the door appears to be adamantine, and there are the energy sparking through it, but still. At this point, I think we have to consider unconventional means.
Those conventional fucking that word. Conventional. Like it was just not working in my mouth for a minute there. Those unconventional means might involve taking the shock as well. The bottle would fit that mechanism on the door.
Well, do you want to try that first, or do you want to help me hoist this anvil into the door?
Let us try the
I think we should
anvil.
hoist the anvil first.
If it works, we do not get hurt.
T-Hole says as
Maybe
he
he must be
starts
dropping on our
backing
toes.
away. Backing away.
Yeah,
To
Nimrod
get out of the way
also
of the anvil.
Nimrod also starts backing away.
On 3.
He
Just start
backs
swinging.
over. He
One.
backs over to the chest and opens it and begins scooping gold.
Good. Keep his grubby hands off my shit.
All right, so ready?
Yes.
All right. Are you exhausted?
Nope.
Okay. So I'm gonna help you.
It's an athletics.
Yeah.
I get a +3.
All right, but
I mean,
have
actually,
advantage.
I'm not going to force you. Between the two of you, you could definitely swing and toss an anvil a couple of feet.
Yes, but we want to see how hard.
We want to throw
Okay,
this fucking
that is
hard.
fine.
We will bust this fuck off the hinges.
Um,
It opens in.
But yeah, Zarius, I have a +4, but I'm also at disadvantage.
Ah, indeed. Then you're weak. What the fuck's wrong with you? Where's your athletics?
I'm a inquisitor. I was never very sporty.
Okay. All right. Shall we roll, or are you still not going to make us?
No, you can roll if you wanted to see how hard you threw it. That's fine.
Athletics with advantage. Yeah, it's not bad, I guess.
Not bad.
So you hurl this anvil. It covers the 8 or so feet between you and the door and clangs into it. And one of you roll me percentile.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right now.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh,
So for about a second, the electricity of the door all is forced into the anvil, which then drops to the ground. Occasionally, you still see arcs of electricity are leaving the door and going into the anvil, but you still see electricity shooting through the door as well.
you may
All
be
right.
onto something.
And the door across from you that led into the room opens again.
I look.
Yeah, Lucirosi will turn around.
You don't see anything. You see Obi-Doo's door in the distance, but it's still closed.
I'll glance around the room, look for this illusory cloud.
You don't see it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go here and see. Is it still back in Obi-Wan's room?
What do you mean? You can see the door. You can see the door that leads to Obi-Wan's room through a short corridor that led to this door, but you don't see anything in the corridor.
Okay. And Zarius, you did not see that illusory cloud you claimed to see earlier.
No,
What about down the hall?
up here down the hall.
Still no.
Huh?
Yeah.
But the door
No.
to Obidu's room is magical. You see now.
Was it? I guess I don't know if it was magical before.
Right. You didn't look at it before. It looks like abjuration. It may have something to do with the lock.
Looks like the door itself down there might be warded, but otherwise no more illusion.
Then why would it open? All right, so it opened when we threw the anvil. It also opened while I was looking at this globe. What was everybody else doing when it opened initially?
Zarius was off looking at one of the books, or one of the non-magical books on the desk, which he then brought over to you. I don't, Aurelia, and I know Aurelia was standing off watching, trying to avoid getting zapped by whatever traps you guys set off. Nimrod was doing that. I'm not sure what T-Hole was doing.
I was standing on this bear rug watching the anvil, and then I moved away back off of it.
So you gather there is, you see less lightning shooting through the door, as some of it is now going into the anvil, but there's still some there.
What is this?
That is a cauldron.
Yeah, is that also the same material?
Yeah, how heavy is that?
It's only about 10 pounds.
All right, I'm gonna
Is it-
toss it at the door.
Okay. Do you want to do an athletics check?
Can I do an attack roll?
Sure. Although, are you going for precision, like jarts, to like get it to like land on the anvil or like right next to the door? Or are you just heaving it as hard as you can at the door?
I'm just heaving it.
Okay. So give me an attack roll.
All right.
Or I'll just move this way.
And I guess where are
Yeah.
you as you're throwing it?
I'll be right here. Where's my character sheet? And I take it I don't have my proficiency bonus because it's
Right.
right. Okay. All right.
So 19 is a pretty good hard throw. It clangs against the door. Electricity shoots off the door and clearly into this cauldron, which then ricochets off the door. And roll me a D100. It comes a little closer to hitting you as it flies back than you might have liked, but it doesn't come so close that you can't avoid it. And it skitters across the floor about a foot after it hits it, stopping at the base of the tripod that holds the white crystal.
Okay. Does the door seem affected at all? Does the energy in the door seem to have changed?
Not that you could tell.
Okay. And this door doesn't like shut again?
Nope. No change in that door.
Zari's gonna take the cauldron and sort of roll it at the door.
Okay. So you're trying to get it to stop near the door?
Yeah.
Okay. So make me either dexterity or acrobatics check, or you can make an attack roll with dexterity.
You guys know how good I am at dexterity.
So good.
I thought I could. Yeah, here we go. What was this missing?
Yes. That's not even a natural one.
Yeah, so you roll it and it moves across the floor, but the sides aren't exactly flat.
Yeah.
And so it basically takes a spiraling course away from the door, not actually getting all that close to the door itself, and winds up on the far side of the globe, rolling to a stop about here.
That was unsuccessful.
You don't say.
I was just fucking out, pick it up and sort of like toss it nearby. I just didn't expect. I was just wanted to like gently shove it. All right. I guess not. Grab it, fucking put it over there. Almost like throwing something into a fire, sort of thing, right?
Mhm. So you're doing it again?
Now this time grabbing it, just tossing it in there.
At the door, you mean?
Yeah. At the
Okay,
base of the
so-
door.
So give me another dexterity check. So it hits the door, but then sort of falls on its side and rolls away a bit.
Is
Each time it seemed to get shocked this time by the door, but lightning doesn't continue to arc into it once it rolls a bit away.
Use my staff to just.
Okay, so you push it up and roll a d100.
Oof.
Low is bad, unfortunately. So as you push it up with your staff, you see lightning begins to shoot between the door and the anvil in it in rapid succession, forming almost like a little circuit for a second. It then lashes outward up your staff and hits you.
My wooden staff.
Yes. So make me a dexterity
It's
save.
whiplash lightning.
Yeah.
Dexterity saving throw. Where's Luce Rossi standing?
I'm where I am.
Sweet. Let me add that. Fuck me, dude. Whatever. You know what? This is a action point situation. All right, I'll use one at least. There, that's better. 16?
That doesn't succeed.
Fuck.
Take 37 lightning damage.
Oh, was that all?
Yikes.
Darius, are you okay?
Just like steam. I feel like smoke coming off of me. I will be fine.
What are these things again?
Crystals.
Did they radiate as magical?
I believe
Yes.
so.
What kind of
T-hole's gonna
magic?
go up.
They would be abjuration.
T-hill's gonna go up to
Okay,
the
version.
red crystal and reach out and like look at it.
Reach out and look at it.
He's gonna look at it, then like kind of reach out and grab it. If nothing happens while looking at it.
Nothing happens while looking at it. It's warm to the touch, you realize when you pick it up, but nothing seems to happen. Holding it.
Do not
I'm
hold more
gonna
than one.
touch.
Sorry, what was that?
I just told him not to hold more than one.
Why?
Instinct.
And what did you say, Dustin?
Uh,
I feel like the Teal is about to reach out.
I was gonna, I'm kind of I'm just kind of, I was actually gonna reach out and touch the other one.
So you
So do
reach
you
out and touch
actually?
the other one. Nothing immediately happens. I mean, are you just putting a hand on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so nothing immediately happens. You notice the other one is not warm. Not necessarily
It-
cold either. It's just room temperature.
So I'm gonna pick it up. So I got like two crystal in each hand.
Okay, make me an investigation check.
Nice.
Come on.
So you notice nothing. You get a sense like you're missing something, but you don't know what it is. Now you have them both in your hand now. You don't, I mean, you're not the one who cast detect magic, so you don't see anything obviously magical about them other than the red one being warm.
Abjuration magic. Zarius, that's protective magic, correct?
Normally, yes.
Perhaps,
Protective, you say?
yes, perhaps those crystals are the key to addressing the energy coming off of the door.
Well, abjuration
I
is
hold the spiky crystals to my bosom.
Ooh. This is what I imagined right here.
Yeah. And I guess I would try to see maybe if like I would like hold them out, like one in each hand, like to get closer to the electrical field. Like presumably there's some kind of like there's like I imagine like there's like a part where like there's like the static energy where your hair starts to stand up.
Right.
So like trying to like pushing it until you know you're clearly going to get zapped.
So as you're approaching with the crystals sort of out in front of you, you get awfully close to that field of burst of electricity. I mean, you don't feel your hair standing on end, but this is magical lightning.
Yeah.
But you're not really sensing anything. Nothing you weren't sensing when you didn't have crystals in your hand and you passed by this door.
Hmm. I guess I'll still hold them and maybe walk closer to the door.
Right. Like I said, your hands are now sort of as close as you might normally risk getting to the lightning. So if you go closer, you may contact the lightning.
Well,
Your
I'm gonna see if
reflexes are
I'm gonna
really
do that.
good.
Yeah, I feel like T-Hole, you've already avoided 2 major threats. I mean, come on. Third time's a charm,
Yeah,
right?
I was.
And even if you don't,
Yeah,
it's less than what we've dealt with.
yeah, I mean, I was gonna walk in to see if, like, maybe the power of the crystals protect me.
So you're
So I'm
basically
gonna
going to
try
walk
to.
in until you touch the door.
Yeah.
So as you walk in, you reach forward and touch the door with the crystals. and make me a dexterity save. So you can decide, you see the electricity still shooting around the door, and it is clear it is going to zap you. If you want to, you can pull your hands away or not.
Yeah, I'll pull my hands away.
So you pull your hands away before the electricity can physically make contact with you. No one else in the group could have gotten his hands away that fast. You somehow avoided any contact with the lightning. And it returns to its normal pattern, rippling randomly across the door and between the door and the cauldron and anvil.
I feel like, T-Hole turns around and his hair is like, like froed.
But you got your hood.
That was close. Yeah. It just puffs up.
The hood puffs out.
Well, these crystals, this one's warm, this one isn't. Well, I don't know what they do. That obviously doesn't help get through the door. And I'll go and put them back on the table.
Wait, let me see the crystals. I'm just curious.
He hands them to you.
Okay.
Now you roll a dex save.
So I just kind of look over the crystals. And if there's nothing else, then I'll just kind of put them back as well.
One is red and warm. The other is a golden color. And that's the only unusual thing about it.
Yeah.
If Zarius didn't tell you were magical, there'd really be no way to know.
Mhm.
I mean, the red one might just be radioactive.
It's true.
I wonder if we should throw these in the dragon's mouth.
Red plutonium.
I mean, it's empty in there. There's nothing in there. It's just an empty cavern. I wonder if we put one of these in the mouth, if something happens.
All right. So Lucirosi will throw one into the mouth. The red one.
Okay. So give me an attack roll. Do you want to use an action point?
No, I'm just tossing a crystal. Where's
So
it
as
as
you,
it breaks?
right. So you toss the crystal and it doesn't actually go even into the dragon's mouth, let alone into the hole in the back of the dragon's mouth. And it hits the wall next to the dragon, where you see it cracks and explodes open. Hold on. And
That probably would have been right here.
a creature forms in the air, seemingly made of crystal and fire.
Oh, wonderful. Gems of elemental.
It was abjuration because it was containment.
Yeah.
Roll initiative.
God damn it.
Oops. I didn't have it appear in the
Click on my.
Oh, I forgot about Nimrod. So this creature has appeared, and it's Luciosi's turn.
I pull out my weapons, I rage, and I attack.
Okay.
So my rage. Shit. I have my flame tongue out. That's okay though, I guess. We'll see. So first hit,
That hits.
second attack,
That does not hit.
and then third attack.
Let's see.
I forgot to attack recklessly.
What? That's how exhausted you are. Okay. T-Hole, you actually can go before this thing if you wanted to.
Teal's going to summon his arms. How do you? So I had my visage. I summoned my visage when we were looking at the dragon. Do you think 10 minutes has passed since that?
No, not quite.
So I would still have my visage active then.
My detect magic is still up, so that goes for 10 minutes.
And
I just
move
like that
up to-
T-Hole's visage is so fancy. It's not a mere visage. It's like
just
it's
just
French.
make- Un visage. Oui. So I'll get next to Lucirosi here, and I'll you could do a good old reach around and punch him with my arms.
I'm sharing the wrong one. That's that one.
And I think radiant damage is muted here, right?
Yes, it is. It's half.
In the void. So I'll do necrotic damage.
Okay, that's doubled.
So normally T-Hole's astral arms have the kind of the silvery glowing light, but when they come out this time, they're kind of veined. They're still kind of that silvery glow, kind of silvery light, but they've got like veins of purple in there, kind of coursing through and moving about.
Okay, now it's its turn.
Well,
wait,
wait a
hold on.
minute.
I get
Oh, okay,
multiple
yeah,
attacks.
you get other attacks. Sorry.
Yeah, so I don't have a bonus, but I do 2 attacks, right?
Right, but you also get the additional die.
And yeah, I got my button ready. So now do both of those hit?
Yes.
Okay. So that's 12, 18, 30, 37, dude. Necrotic.
Okay. So you slam your fists into it. It seems like it appeared in perfect health, and now it's not feeling so well. You've eliminated more than half of its hit points in one round.
Well, wait a minute. You said 37. It's 44, I thought.
Yeah, I actually didn't go by what you did. I had already taken out the original 12 from the first hit. So I just did the math on my own.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
But yeah, it would have been 44 total. So now it's its turn. It has scimitar in its hand. And it is going to attack Lucirosi 3 times.
Yes.
That's not good. That's
Yes.
not good.
Yes.
That's probably the end of it. It did not have a good
I'm
round.
gonna use my reaction to punch it.
Okay.
Good
Do you
old
have
Sentinel.
Sentinel?
I do.
It's interesting because even if I had attacked recklessly, it wouldn't have hit. None of those would have hit.
So that's its turn.
Fine.
Teal already went. Zarius.
Well, I'm gonna go with the classic here. Toll the Dead.
Let's see.
2 1s in that fucking roll.
So that's actually interesting. Interesting thing that you just reminded me of with Toll the Dead.
Product damage.
When I've used Sacred Flame in Baldur's Gate 3, it never hits.
Dude, you fucking telling me, dude.
Never hits.
Rarely. And if it does, it's like 1 damage. I'm like, fuck you.
Oh,
Your
it is-
shitty range. Your shit to hit.
It is still standing, but its flames are beginning to sputter. And it's Aurelia's turn, unless you're doing something else.
No, I don't really have anything else, so I'll just take 1 step. Well, no, I'm gonna stay right here. Zarius was kind of eyeballing those cards, but that's it though. He can wait.
So Aurelia's turn.
So I hear some kind of ruckus in the back of the room, and I look up and I see those 2 fighting some kind of. How big is this guy? Is he pretty big?
He's not super big, actually. He's just medium sized.
Okay, well they're in my line of sight, and I can't hit anything, and I go back to cursing my god for transforming me, and that's my turn.
Why, Lucirosi, have you?
Technically, yeah, your
You've
god
forsaken me.
probably doesn't exist out here in the void.
That's all I
He's
know.
Nimrod. He'll take his bow down and shoot. He's got someone within a few feet. So he hits there. And you see a bolt shoots over Lucirossi's shoulder, hitting this thing in the head. And the fires go out and it just falls to the floor. And you see it
Explodes.
begins to dissolve into ash, and the ash breaks down into nothingness.
Nothing hidden in the ash. Huh?
Does it leave its scimitar?
The scimitar is still there.
All right. I'm gonna pick that up.
So it appears to be black and made of possibly obsidian.
Hmm. This is
That's pretty
interesting.
cool.
Yes, this is a very unique weapon. Was anybody hurt?
No.
I feel fine.
All right. Thank Asheros we were able to take it down before it.
Screw Asheros.
Aurelia, it saddens me to hear that. Anyways.
Nimrod adds, yeah, thank the gods. It wasn't able to defend itself.
Yep. You see
Can
that?
you wait?
Lucirosi?
Can you imagine from the perspective of the Myrmidon? It's like it's stuck in this gem for God knows how long, And then it's finally, I'm free. Oh my God, what are you guys doing? Why are you,
Yeah.
why are
Get
you
away from me!
hitting
Get away from me! Like he's swinging wildly because he didn't fucking hit shit.
Right.
No, get away!
Well, he started getting pummeled before he had a chance to do anything. So normally when you break these gems open, the elemental does what you want. Apparently you just wanted to beat up something.
Well, I assumed when we had initiative called that it was a foregone conclusion, but I guess that's my bad.
We'll never
Hey,
know.
You see what happened there, Lucia? You just beat a defenseless being to death.
It looks pretty fiendish though.
He did nothing but try and defend himself.
Lucirosi is so exhausted that not only did he not rage, but he didn't
He
smite.
did rage.
Or he didn't, not only did he not attack recklessly, but he didn't smite.
Yeah, I actually thought about that after the fact. I'm like, wait a minute. I just rolled a critical hit and I didn't smite. What the fuck?
I was confused. I was like, why is this arithmetic so easy?
It would have been radiant damage though, or no, right? So
That's
it
true.
yeah.
It would have been
done
radiant damage.
But still,
Reduced,
you know,
reduced potency. My Toll of the Dead, however, is back into full swing. I like this. Unless, of course, fucking,
This
things absorb necrotic, then I'm just giving it double.
well, this gold one wasn't warm to the touch. Maybe we should break that open and see what's inside.
Perhaps we should just carry it. It
I
might
don't
be
think
useful.
it's a wise idea. We were able to overcome the fiend within the red one. Who knows what is in the yellow, or if it will be as easy an adversary.
I suppose.
I am running out of ideas. I don't know what else we can try here.
Maybe we could try throwing the bear rugs at the wall.
So
Or
Nimrod
at
would
the
chime
door.
in to say, well, we haven't tried the pentagonal bottle. And to be honest, we're kind of haphazardly searching this room. Like, we really could toss the place. Have everybody just do everything they can. We haven't even looked at some of the crap, the hourglass and the telescope, and that's probably for the best. We haven't opened the sarcophagus, which Zarius probably doesn't want us to do because of his whole situation with the dead. But from my perspective, that's just like a second treasure chest we haven't touched yet.
Yes, but it may contain a body, and that body may not be quite dead.
Well,
That's-
maybe I
that
should
is
go over
certain-
there and open it, and if it is, it will one look at me and it will die.
That's not true, Aurelia. We're still
could-
alive.
It could definitely be trapped. It could definitely have something to attack us in it. But I'm just saying, there's things we haven't done yet.
No, this is true. And if we are going to get through this, we do need to try all available avenues.
I got kind of a dumb, or like the bottle, the or the pentagonal bottle. Does it look like is it like tall enough that I could like stick it in the impression without getting zapped?
No, you almost certainly would be close enough to get zapped. But make me an investigation check. You are able to discern looking at it closely, and like taking it over to the door. You think the bottom of the bottle is ever so slightly bigger than that impression in the door. Like it wouldn't fit.
I'm gonna
Um,
unstopper the liquid and take a smell. Like unstopper the bottle and smell this liquid.
It has a certain earthy smell to it. Like dirt. But that's it. It otherwise smells fine, unremarkable.
I'm kind of, if anybody is, I've probably asked this. If anybody's seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, there's an episode where they do an escape room, and rather than actually doing it, they just trash everything. I feel like that's us right now.
Just ripping paintings off the wall.
Yeah.
Hey, you weren't supposed to do that.
I
All
did
right.
say this had the feel of a fucking escape room thing, so it fits.
All right, Nimrod, why don't you come and help me look at the sarcophagus to make sure it's not trapped, and we'll see perhaps something worthwhile is inside.
I cannot condone you opening that sarcophagus.
I understand your reservation, Sarius, but we can't leave any avenue unturned at this point. We've come too far to go back, and let's not forget the safety of Cartha is at stake.
Is it really that important?
It is.
Nimrod is disappointed to note there were only 1,499 gold coins in that chest. He was looking for the last one, but all right, looks safe to me. Nothing wrong with this sarcophagus.
Zarius goes to grab the cards. Like fuck it,
Okay.
they're gonna
As
do
you
some
reach
sacrilegious
forward-
shit.
Roll me a D1000.
Fingers crossing for a mohawk.
Let's see.
$619 is a prime number.
It's good to know. So as you reach out for it, you begin to feel like the crackle of electricity run up your staff in your hand, and you all see lightning begin to crackle up and down the staff. So your staff of the adder will now do 1d8 lightning damage whenever you hit a target with it.
Damn it. Can I turn this, like, can I like disable it? Like just like turn it off and on?
No.
It's gonna make it really difficult for me to just use it as a crutch. Whenever we go into places that don't want to fucking
So,
let us take our weapons.
So I look and see this, like he goes to reach for the deck and
Right. And much like the last time, the other times, once you kind of snap to, you realize you haven't picked up the deck. You were distracted by the staff.
Is my
the deck
hand like
sitting
still
there.
reaching out or?
No, you pull back slightly as this happens.
do we see the staff is crackling with electricity?
Yes.
This is ridiculous. And I go up and I try to touch the deck again.
Okay. Roll me a D1000.
A one. There's another one. That would be some shit.
Whoa, that is a low number.
That is a low
Wow.
number.
Action point.
I may have an unplayable character, but
Been rolling stats over there.
no, I shouldn't say that.
So all of your clothing and your armor immediately double in size.
Good, good. So that covers my scales.
Uh,
And as you're watching, these things just continue to grow.
They're still growing.
Yes.
Aurelia,
What?
And
what's
after about 10 seconds, they are now 4 times the size they were.
I've shrunk.
all right? Lucidrosi is going to try and grab them and throw them into the hallway in case they continue to grow.
Now they're 8 times the size they were. So her armor weighs a considerable amount more, but luckily it's just elven chain. I mean, the clothes are still on her, so you'd have to extricate them from her.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and help her out of the clothes so that we can throw them into the hallway.
I'm
At
sure I have a
about
cloak.
at about 16 times the size they were, they stop, but they do not shrink back.
Okay.
All right.
So your armor is now not functionally armor because it's far too big,
Right.
and you're nude.
With scale,
And
but I got
covered in
scales
scales.
now, so
Right.
Yeah, you're like an Argonian. Guys walk around without clothes on
this
all
is
the
the
time.
worst day ever.
Oh.
um,
Alrighty. Like I gotta have like some extra like regular clothes, right? Something amongst us all.
yeah, I have my cloak, so I can give that. So I hand that to you, Aurelia. Here to keep your modesty.
What's the point now? And I go 3 times a charm, and I touch the deck again.
Oh,
Astros
Roll me a
is shit on me
D1000.
this day. Hey, there we go. There goes something.
Yeah, this it's not necessarily higher is better, but
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't think so.
It's been like that so far.
right. It is kind of roughly that, but it's not exactly that. 732.
Here's a perk with the downside.
Aurelia's face starts to elongate as it becomes a horse with scales.
So, what is your primary weapon?
I mean, I really don't. I use magic. I really don't have a primary weapon.
So your copper scepter then?
My broken copper scepter. Yeah.
It begins to toll like the bell of a clock tower.
Okay. Is it like deafening loud?
No, it's loud, but it's not deafening loud. It could probably be heard over like 1,000 feet if you were outside.
Okay.
But it stops after it rings about 4 bells.
Aurelia, enough with the cards.
There's got to be something good in there.
Perhaps, but it seems the cards are not. They're not a good thing.
I don't know. You seemed like you were having a good time.
Yes, well, it doesn't mean that the cards can't produce something good, but it doesn't seem to be working that way for Aurelia. And I'm afraid, Aurelia, if you continue to press your luck, you may put yourself in danger as well as the rest of us.
So the scepter doesn't do anything else. It just made
No,
that noise.
it rang like a bell 4 times and stopped.
Okay. For whom the bell tolls.
It's summoning another rock.
Probably.
T-Hole's gonna reach for the
Although,
deck of
yeah,
cards
since your
now that
detect
everyone
magic
else
is up,
has.
since your detect magic is up, Zarius, I would note that you see that scepter is now permanently magical in some way.
Oh no.
All right.
It's the beacon that the rock uses to follow you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How is it magical with enchantment?
Uh, what would this be? No, this would be more evocation.
Your weapon has now been made magical. Would seem it would evoke something when you use it.
All right, so come on, Nimrod, let's check out this sarcophagus. So you said it looks safe. Luciosi's just gonna check on his own. Not that he doesn't trust Nimrod, but he also doesn't trust Nimrod.
Nimrod is also exhausted. You could see that.
Zarius is gonna go to the opposite side of the room, just absolutely 100% ignoring them. Just
Can
gonna look at these potions.
can I do another? Can I do an investigation of the sarcophagus?
Yep.
9.
You also don't see anything.
Okay. So I'm gonna start looking for a way to open it.
It's, it's a sarcophagus. You lift the lid up. There's no hinge or anything like that. Just sets into the base of the thing.
Right. I do have a crowbar, so I can use that.
It's small. I mean, it's halfling size. So the lid itself is not super heavy. It is probably about 50 pounds. There's a fair bit of gold on it, but it's probably reasonably thin given the weight. Inside, you see there is a wrapped mummy-like corpse. You can't distinguish at this stage whether it is a halfling or some sort of humanoid child, but it's definitely a humanoid. It seems to be bedecked in jewelry. And Zarius, what's the range on detect magic? 60 feet?
Yeah. Detect, where you at?
I thought it was 30.
30.
Yeah. So what do you want to do?
Well, as I open it up and see the jewelry, I would call over Zarius. Is your vision still able to see the magical auras?
I would say you probably have another minute.
He just, yes.
Would you mind coming and taking a look? I know this is distasteful, but it is important.
Are you going?
Um,
Considering?
yeah. He stomps his way over there.
As you get within 30 feet, you do see magic emanating from the sarcophagus. Seems to be coming from the body itself, though. It's necromancy.
Right. Which doesn't necessarily mean anything. I mean, I believe preservation magic is also necromancy. So,
Right.
a boy. Can I tell?
You
It's
really can't unless you want to remove some of the bandages. I mean, you know what? I forgot. Your medicine skill is insane. So I guess roll me a medicine check.
Ah,
Still a 14.
Right. Yeah, under the bandages, you can't really tell. And you really have to even guess at like species just from the general shape and size. It could be some race you've never encountered.
Then I'm okay with just assuming this young man, his body is infused with magic.
All right. Well, then we should proceed carefully.
Proceed with what?
Well, we need to see if there's anything else in the sarcophagus.
I mean, I know it's technically foreign, but the make and shit like that is similar, right? To shit I've literally put bodies inside of.
Right.
Would it be likely that they would have they wouldn't normally put a hidden compartment in the thing, because you normally all your possessions are buried with you, right?
I mean, they might. So it depends on the culture a little bit. Your culture might be different. In Thult, they absolutely might have hidden things in the sarcophagus, noting that when their ruler, whoever this person was, returned or was in the land of the dead, that they might have to retrieve it, but hiding it so that if tomb robbers get in, they can't take it.
Sure.
So it is entirely possible there's some secret compartment in there. It would be rare, though. Something has gone wrong if tomb robbers have gotten into the sarcophagus.
Well, something's already wrong. The sarcophagus is here.
Right. Something's gone wrong if the tomb robbers are the rest of your party.
All right. So, Zarius, do you have any other insight to offer before we look into the sarcophagus more closely?
Do not
Nimrod will
disturb
back
the
away
body.
from the corpse that radiates necrotic energy.
What were you saying, Zarius?
Do not disturb the body. If it comes back to haunt you, I may just help it.
Zarius, I do not take pleasure in this, but we need to move forward. Lives depend on it. Our lives depend on it if we hope to get back to our own home.
I just said what I said.
So Lugerosi will try to look around within the sarcophagus, being very gentle, trying his best not to disturb the body if possible, and he will, before he does so, he will say a prayer to Asheros and beg for the forgiveness of the person who's been laid to rest here.
So what exactly are you investigating? Like the sides of it or the jewelry or?
Yeah, so I'm starting with the jewelry to see if any of it might be significant or helpful. And then just kind of the sides lining around it. And then, I'll very gently try to lift the side a little bit to see if there might be anything underneath.
Okay, so as you begin to investigate the jewelry, you see the hand of this mummy raises up. And roll initiative.
All of us or just Lucerosi?
Everyone can.
Your initiative.
So you hear a low moan come from the corpse as it sits up, reaching out for Lugerosi. But Aurelia, you get to react first.
I don't know. I seem to recall somebody lecturing me about messing with cards may bring about some sort of destruction, and they just went over to sarcophagus. Ooh,
After you have done it 3 times unsuccessfully.
The last one was successful.
we don't know.
And about this time, your detect magic fades.
Sure.
All right. I will attempt. Let's see. I'm going to try to hit it with the Eldritch Blast. See if I still have magic. That could have been taken from me. I don't know. We'll find out. There's one.
That's a hit.
You're not doing any damage.
Nice.
That is also a hit. And that is also a hit. So you see dust flies out of this thing, the only source of dust apparently in the void, as your bolts of force slam into it. Lugerosi, since you're next to it, you can go next.
All right. All right, so I'm going to attack recklessly, but I'm not going to rage just yet because I only have 1 more. So first attack,
Hits.
second attack,
So you see the thing partially catches on fire. And between that and your slashing at it, you manage to sever the head, which goes bouncing away, getting stuck behind the stone dragon head. And the corpse slumps back into the sarcophagus on fire.
Okay, I begin to try and put out the fire. Like,
Okay. Do you have
top-
something to tamp it down? Or are you using your hands? How are you putting out the fire?
Yeah.
I gotta have a cloak on, right? So I whip the cloak off and I grab Lugerosi by the shoulder, fucking throw him back, and start fucking tamping it out.
You tamp it out. There is still some smoke coming off the head, but the head is now lost behind the stone dragon head.
I'll attempt to retrieve it.
Okay. You amble over the casket a bit because that won't easily move. And you're eventually able to fish it out. It was stuck in there pretty good, but you get it out. The fire has burned out in the head by the time you've gotten to it. It's smoking a little bit.
I just say, various prayers in a language that they don't understand.
Nimrod's looking behind the chest. He needs that. There's a missing gold piece. He feels it.
Was there anything else in the sarcophagus?
Didn't have a chance to fully investigate the jewelry. So you can give me an investigation check now that the body has moved substantially.
Nice.
So the jewelry itself is not as it's cosmetically looks very nice, but it's not as valuable as you might have thought at first glance. Most of it is gold plated. You're not sure what it's plated over, but in the bottom of the sarcophagus, you do find that underneath where the corpse was in what was more or less just straw matting, you do find a stone that is roughly the size of your head, in which there is a projection that is pentagonal.
Well, it seems, despite the sacrilegious nature of this event, it may have proved fruitful. Is there any way that I can pull it out of the sarcophagus?
Yeah, you would have to, you'll have to tear out the straw matting, but
Yeah, I would do that then.
so you take it out.
All right. So I'm gonna bring it over closer to the door. Does it look like it's a fit?
Give me an investigation check. Yeah, you're pretty sure it would fit.
Okay. All right. I'm going to risk being electrocuted, but hopefully this is what we need to move on beyond this door. So I'm gonna hold it up. Does it look like, is there any markings that would show which, vertex to align the pentagram with?
So it's not a square. It is an oblong diamond shape,
Okay.
or star shape, I mean. It's not exactly clear though, because it's not something that easily rotates to confuse you. So you can figure out which star has to go at the top because it's the narrowest of the triangles.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to align it and press it into the door.
So you press it into the door. The electricity does not shock you. The electricity, in fact, subsides around the pentagram itself, but it doesn't stop at the edges of the door. And you begin to hear a hissing coming from the dragon head.
As I'm
Oh,
over there.
I turn and
performing.
look at the dragon head. Do I need to continue holding it up to the door? Or does it like stick to it or what?
Yes, it sticks to it.
Okay.
So essentially the door is now still appears to be electrified, but there's a ring, a circle, barrier of about 1 foot around this indentation in the door where you have pressed this key.
Mhm. So we heard the hiss. Zarius is checking it out.
And the hiss is continuous. It is still going.
I was
As
not checking it out. I was
oh,
So
performing
Zarius,
rights over the fucking body.
given where you are, make me a Constitution save.
Sure.
Do you want to use an action point?
Yeah. I'll take the 12.
Okay, you take the 12. So you take 18 poison damage. The poison itself, you can smell it coming from the mouth of the dragon, but you can't see it. It seems to be an invisible gas. And the hissing continues.
Start to back up. Did the electricity go away yet?
It is still circling around the key, but it's lighting up the rest of the door.
can I push against the door to see if it opens?
No, the door clearly opens in.
Okay. Can I grab around this key and like use it to pull the door?
The moment you apply pressure to the key, it begins to slide out of the indentation.
All right, I'm gonna push it back in then.
There is a door handle, but it's still electrified.
Okay.
So the key, it's in there, the key's in, and then it's like a foot around, it's kind of sunken in, and then you said like the door is lighting up. So there's like some sort of sequence that's going on.
No, it's that the electricity was arcing all over the door. Now the electricity is arcing all over the door, except for one clear patch in the middle where there's this key has been inserted, but it's still arcing around the handle. And the hissing continues.
What's the shape
T-Hole
of the
sees what's
handle?
going on, and he's
What was
gonna
that?
reach for the deck of cards.
May not have much opportunity. So roll me a D1000 if you're going to try to touch the cards.
969.
Damn, dude.
Okay, so nothing happens immediately.
Just and just stop and watch Kurt's reaction when you see the video. Okay.
So I asked what the shape of the door handle was.
It's actually a ring that you would
Oh.
use to pull the door open.
Yeah. Zarius, what is that hissing over by the dragon?
Poison. I use my I don't know if it'll matter now, but my electrified staff. Can it perhaps kind of absorb this, and I can like hook it into that ring?
You could make me a dexterity check to try to do that.
Jesus fucking Christ! How about somebody else fucking do that?
No.
Some other equipment
could-
of theirs.
I mean, I could try. T-Hole could try, assuming that he can use this, can grab the staff of the adder without getting electrocuted.
Are any of these glass vials down here like hook shaped?
Are they like what shaped?
Hook shaped?
Well, remember, just
No,
because
they're all
glass
bubbles at the
isn't
end.
conductive doesn't mean that it's not conductive to magical electricity. Also, that hissing is still going on.
Yeah, and you're all
Yeah.
beginning to smell something in the air. It's acrid. There's a little hint of like rotten egg in it.
I'm gonna like just to
No,
see what
fit
happens.
right in.
I'm gonna
Wait.
pop the key
Zarius,
out.
you said that there was poison at the dragon head?
Yes.
All right. I'm going.
If I pop the thing out, does it stop hissing?
Yes.
Perhaps we'll figure this out.
All right. So I think the room was starting to fill with poison.
Yeah. Somebody open that door. That other door.
It's already open, I thought.
Yes, it's open
Yeah,
again.
it is.
So, all right. It looks like we found at least one half of the puzzle. There must be something else.
It opens in, you said?
Yep.
This anvil is going to be in the
Wait a
way.
minute. I'm gonna look at that dagger with the way that it has that strange curve. Does it seem like it could be used to pull the handle?
I mean, it's sickle shaped. It could, but it's, some sort of metal.
Right, but it's not a usual metal. It's very light.
Right. And it's bluish. So it's not a metal you're familiar with.
Do you wish to try it?
So the electricity is now that the key has been pulled out, the electricity has resumed arcing all over the door.
Let's wait. Let's do some further investigation, see if there's anything else.
Well, we still have the vial that has pentagon shape on it, and the key which has a pentagon shape. Zarius, what do you make of these potions? This black substance. This smells earthy, but you're more of a medicine man than I am.
I do not know.
Are you trained?
potions
I
very
didn't
well.
think to ask. Is Teal trained in Arcana?
He is.
Make me an Arcana check.
Yeah, I don't know potions. I know land vehicles and mason's tools.
So, in looking at the weird grayish color and how it sort of drains the color out of things around it, when you try to look through it, and the sort of nondescript earthy smell, and realizing that all of the other potions have the same exact coloration, you realize there has to be some kind of process that was used to disguise the nature of this potion. Most potions, you can kind of get a sense of what they do. Someone apparently was purposefully trying to make it hard to figure out what this potion does. So at some point, somebody probably, tried to use transmutation magic on it. And I would also note that the detect magic didn't detect magic in these potions. But that could be a portion of the effect. And it could be Nistel's aura is blocking it. If somebody was trying to make a potion unidentifiable, they probably would block detect magic from telling you what kind of magic it was.
I guess. I would take a sip of it.
Okay, it has no effect, and you can't determine anything other than that earthy smell.
Well, it isn't bad, but not helpful.
What was the aura of the hourglass and the telescope?
The telescope was enchantment. The hourglass was transmutation.
All right. So hourglass is going to either age me forward or age me backward. All right, I'd start looking at the not the hourglass, the telescope.
Okay, it appears to be made of a red metal. It's got brass fittings on either end. It's not very long. It's only about 3 feet.
If I touch it, does it do anything?
No.
All right. I'm gonna bring it over to the door just because Lushrosi has a bit of an idea, and he's going to look through the eyepiece looking at the door.
Okay, so you look through the eyepiece. I guess I'll just send this to you. They can't see it.
We just had to find all of the trapped shit first before
Yeah.
we found the useful things.
That's how it always goes. I mean, we still have magical bear
Somehow.
rugs and a magical crocodile.
My party fucking finds solutions immediately. I don't understand.
That's because you're putting one in there.
That's fair.
Right.
So that's what you see, but
All right.
you're free to do what you want with that.
Yeah, so you see Lucirosi kind of look through the eyeglass, and he becomes almost for a second, his face kind of goes slack, his tongue even kind of lolls out, just like, and then you can sort of see him like kind of shaking and like forcefully trying to pull it away, and you can see him breathing hard. The colors, the meanings, the patterns. It was so enticing, so cryptic, but strange and beautiful. Just do not look through this eyepiece.
I wasn't
Too
going.
beautiful.
Quick, throw it at the door.
Only for me.
Yeah, I guess in order to prevent anybody else from getting the idea, I would throw it against the door because that's
It's magical.
That's not good
Doesn't
for
fucking
anyone.
do a thing.
that's not good for the world.
You can't just break it because it's fucking magical.
Whatever. It doesn't mean Lucirosi wouldn't try. He has anger issues. He hasn't worked through them yet.
So you throw it at the door. It lands with a clang in the cauldron.
All right. So, as I suspected, it was another trap. What else is magical around here?
Sarius, have you moved back to the sarcophagus?
Yes. I'll slowly do it in case like I get that whiff and I'll back up.
The
Just
whiff
kinda
is
waiting for it
still
to-
the whiff is still in the air. And
it
you
doesn't-
do as
hasn't,
you
like, sort of
slowly
dispersed.
not enough that if you move back into that corner,
Okay.
it wouldn't start to overwhelm you again.
Yeah, I'm just sort of like waiting right now. Like the
I mean, yeah, you can tell from the smell that it is hanging in that back corner, but it is out further than it was when you were there.
right.
If only we
I
had
wonder.
dusted.
Then you
I
could mix
wonder
it
if-
around with all the good air.
Yeah.
I wonder if we insert the key and then look through this vial in this liquid, if the way it sucks colors out of the air would show us like a kind of to help us see through an illusion of some sort.
But T-hole, the minute that we insert the key, more poison gas is likely to fill the room. So this is not something we can just use as a hunch. We need to be more sure.
I mean, we could just try for 10 seconds, and then if we don't see anything, then just take it out.
10 seconds is a long time.
Yes.
5
Yeah.
seconds.
How long, like, did we have have that key in there that it's spread out?
About 3 rounds.
Yeah.
I think it is fair to try it, T-hole, but let's position ourselves to be able to try multiple things when we insert the key again. What else
That's
was
fair.
magical around here other than the hourglass?
The crocodile was, wasn't it?
The crocodile was, the rugs were,
Those are all
Uh,
conjuration.
right. The hourglass was, the portrait of Malikar was, the telescope was. The dragon head, at least the back part of the mouth of the dragon head.
Right.
The orb,
Yeah, the conjuration makes sense with the dragon mouth now because that's where the poison's coming from, I think.
and there's still those non-magical potions that are probably magical.
Yeah.
Hmm. Did you guys move the bear rugs?
No.
I lifted them up.
Well,
I didn't
yeah.
bother to move
Yeah,
them.
looked at them, what's underneath them.
So the Malikar painting is facing towards the wall, right?
Yep.
Is there a wire in the back that it was hanging, or you said it was like bolted on or something?
Right. There are two bolts in the back of the canvas that fit into two fittings on the wall.
So if I look at the other paintings, are they held up by a wire or just the one hook or something?
T-Hole took them all down. They were all affixed with two bolts into two fittings in the wall. I don't know. I don't remember if you turned them all to face the wall or not.
No, just Malikar.
So if anyone gets frustrated and wants a hint, let me know. You could always do an investigation check.
Um,
I'm gonna look for some string or wire in the room.
I'd say you could find some in the desk or, you know, in your giant clothing.
Oh yeah, cut off a piece. All right. I'm going to affix it to tie
Practically
it to the
rope.
back of the Malikar's.
That's true.
Portrait.
Rusty no longer has a cloak to hide in.
Right. He's just hiding in the nasty puke scales.
well, I thought, didn't Lucirosi give you his cloak?
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I can wear Lucerosi's cloak.
So Rusty will nestle in there.
Does it have any kind of markings or anything on it?
No, it's just a regular black cloak.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to tie that on the back, like across the back of the painting.
Okay.
How big is it compared to me?
The cloak.
No, the portrait of Malikar.
Oh, okay. The portrait is about 5 feet tall by 4 feet wide.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty big.
Right.
Okay. Okay.
The frame is gold.
All right.
What is this guy?
What guy? Oh, that is actually just a standing bowl of what looks like water.
Oh, okay.
It did not detect as magical.
I am then going to go find my old clothes and cut off a piece that would fit over the front of the portrait, and then affix that to the wire.
Okay. So you've covered the portrait now.
Correct.
Lucirosi is going to take a blade and start cutting into the carpet to see if there's anything inside this one, or to see what's inside of it.
So
Oh, I
you're
just
cutting
roll
into
your
it. What
shit
you
now.
see inside of it appears to be gear wheels and just random bolts of metal. So it looks almost as if this could be some sort of clockwork machine that's been really thoroughly disassembled.
Okay.
But you don't see anything that looks like it would be like an outside of the machine. It looks mostly like a frame and a lot of gear wheels.
Okay. And then if I do the same with the others, I see the same thing.
Yep.
Nothing different in any of them.
No.
Okay. What about the alligator? Is its mouth open?
Its mouth is open. It is, it's a three-dimensional. It looks like a taxidermied alligator.
Right.
But it was enchanted.
Right.
Right.
With the
It's also
same-
conjuration magic.
Yeah.
So, is there anything inside the mouth?
No, the mouth appears to just be sort of what you would normally see taxidermied. As you shift the thing around, though, you realize that you can hear the shifting that sounds like more loose gears.
Okay.
Hmm.
All right. So I am really hesitant to try and touch or mess with that hourglass. I think it is very foreboding object. But I think, we have two things that worth trying. T-hole, you want to see if looking at the door through the glass reveals some kind of pattern. And I think it is worth trying to hook the handle using the dagger to see if the door can be pulled once the key is inserted. Is there anybody else that has any other ideas worth trying?
What's the deal with the hourglass?
Just laying on its side. It's filled with black sand.
What do you think will happen?
Well, it is transmutation magic, which, if I'm correct, Zarius or T-hole, please correct me. That is the magic of change.
Well, I'm up for that, and I walk over and pick it up.
So as you pick it up, the sand begins to flow through it again. You see the cuts that Lucerosi has placed in the rugs bind themselves up. The stray gears that fell out leap up and into the tear on the rugs as the rugs seal themselves up again. And then you hear 4 chimes from your bent copper scepter.
Okay.
And then the rugs begin to rise up as if they're filling.
Knock it down, Aurelia. Knock it down.
Turn it over. Flip it.
I flipped the hour.
And
Okay.
you see clockwork versions of the animals rise up, and we can roll for initiative.
Of course.
There we go.
Something like that. Fucking alligator is way bigger than it was before.
Where was I? Was the hourglass over here? Where was it?
It was
Yeah, it's on the table.
Yeah.
They'll just go on the owlbear's turn. Oh, I forgot Nimrod. Nimrod says, "Hey, there's a silver lock back here."
Yeah, and then not what I expected.
So, Lucerosi, what do you want to do?
Yeah, I am going to enter my rage. My last rage, because I need to.
That's believable. Everything else has been real easy to kill.
And then I'm going to attack the lion in front of me.
Isn't that like cannibalism?
A little bit.
You gonna rustle it? That'd be funny.
I'm going to attack recklessly. First attack. I'm going to use a first level smite So 2 plus 16. In addition to all of that.
But it is radiant.
That's not enough to kill it, right?
No, not quite.
All right.
It is looking pretty rough after that assault, though.
Second attack.
That hits.
Okay. Still up.
Still up.
Third attack. And
And that actually is enough to break it.
okay, cool.
There it is. T-hole. Luge Rosie just pounded a Clockwork Lion that was right next to you.
Yeah, I won't take that out of context.
It's just another euphemism. Pounding the old Clockwork Lion. I guess T-hole would like Tank had look around, look to his left, and he'd see that alligator kind of rearing up and looking our way. So he'd go over to it and start to punch it.
Okay.
So that's let's see, what are my super arms? Oh, those with the martial arts I added to it. And then bonus attack. And then that wasn't good.
Yeah, that one missed. So let's see. This is all necrotic.
Yeah.
So as you're punching into it, you realize, given the fury of this onslaught, this one's a good bit tougher than the lion because it's still up.
And I'm gonna use I'm gonna spend a Kai point to make one of those attacks do a what's it called?
Stunning strike.
Stunning strike. Yeah. That's a
Relatively
con
can't
save.
be stunned.
Yeah, it can't be stunned.
Okay. No. Never mind. And that'll be my turn.
Okay. Nimrod will balance his crossbow on this chest and shoot at the crocodile. Aurelia.
So the scepter made 4 noises.
Yes.
Do I have any idea why?
Actually, you would gather that it was almost like a bell ringing in reverse. Something happened to time in this room, and it also affected your scepter. So it rang 4 times when it first got enchanted, and now it rang 4 times again, as these things somehow were reversed into this clockwork form.
So not only has Aurelia lost all of her equipment, now the one thing that was enchanted is now not enchanted. Although, if it affected your thing, maybe your clothes in the hallway are normal size now.
He's still scaled.
That's true.
All right. I'm gonna use Eldritch Blast against the. I guess that's a wolf.
Yes. That's a hit.
Oh, good lord.
That's a hit. And that's a hit.
Nice.
I'm going to attempt to get up on the desk.
Okay, you can do that, no problem.
I really can't get cover. I guess I could try. Is there any cover near where the dragon head is?
You could try to get like behind the sarcophagus.
And that would mean probably a check, right?
I mean, no, the sarcophagus isn't like super high. It's no higher than the desk. So I wouldn't say it requires a chest to get over to the back of the sarcophagus.
That's what I'm going to try to do because I need some cover here because
Right.
I don't have.
So as you get that close, though, you realize, oh wait, this is the poison gas corner.
Oh, that's right.
You mean the time reversal didn't remove it?
It did not.
That fucking bullshit.
It's
poison.
called selective time.
Yeah.
Whiplash time.
Or whiplash poison. Can't even see it.
And you hear your copper scepter rings 3 times.
In reverse
Okay.
again?
Yes.
Okay. I have no idea.
But so you don't have to walk into the poison if you don't want to.
Yeah, I'll try. Yeah, I'll just stay on the. Well, shit. I'm just stuck out here in the middle of the fucking room.
So anything else you're doing?
Nope.
Zarius.
All right, so I'm gonna skirt around this thing and spit a line of acid out, so that should get these two within it.
Okay. Is that a deck save?
Use my breath weapon. Acid breath. Yes. Okay. Half damage if they save, so. Is that an action or bonus action? No, it's an action, yeah.
So both of them are smoking from this jet of acid.
There we go.
Doing anything else?
Nope.
So does Aurelia still have the cloak? Or did she use that to wrap up the painting?
No, I still have the cloak. I just used the my supersized clothes pieces.
Okay. So then Rusty the Martin will leap up onto the desk and then leap down and up under your cloak. Now their turn. Let's see.
Rusty the Martin turns out to be Malikar. He's going to get squashed.
So it is going to leap. You can take an attack of opportunities, Arius, if you want. But it's leaping over this globe towards T-Hole. That hits.
Yeah, look at that.
Lightning damage in there.
It was added to my staff, so
Yep.
Wait, interesting. Lucirosi might not know this, but I'm noticing it. Did the knife and the gem move back?
That's my mistake. That actually
Oh, okay.
probably shouldn't have happened. It was when I was pulling these things out of the GM layer.
Oh, okay.
No, it did. It did happen.
So it is now going to attack T-hole. It has advantage. Didn't really need it. So make me a strength saving throw, T-hole.
Hold on a sec. Let me check something. Nice. Okay. So I'm going to add, because my arms are active, I can use with my wisdom modifier in place of my strength
Okay.
modifier for strength saving throws. So I'll add +4 to that.
Okay. So you
So
made
17.
it. But 8 piercing damage. And then the crocodile is also going to attack you with advantage. First, it tries to bite you,
I wonder if it did.
and then it slaps you with its tail. And you have to make me, you are grappled automatically by the bite. But the escape DC is a 16.
Okay.
And you have to make another strength saving throw to see if it drags you prone after it hits you with the tail.
Add 4. It's
So
26.
yes, you're not prone, but you are grappled. And the owl bear, for good measure, will walk around and also attack you. So it also has advantage. So it's a 22. And then it makes
That
a
hits.
claw attack, 17. So miss.
Misses.
That's their turn. Lucirosi,
How do they have advantage?
pack tactics. They all have pack tactics.
Oh, they all have back tactics. That's dangerous. So, yeah.
So you just saw T-hole getting gangbanged by a bunch of animatronics.
Sometimes the animatronics pound back.
Lucirosi is going to leap into action next to T-hole here and start attacking the crocodile recklessly. So, first attack,
That's a hit.
second attack.
That's a
I'm
miss.
going to use my channel divinity to add 10 to that attack.
That's a hit then.
And then third attack.
That is also a hit.
All right.
Reason it's not showing me its hit points. There it goes.
And
So it's looking rough-ish, but still up.
yeah.
Anything else?
Fuck it. I haven't used an action point yet, and that's unusual for me. So I'm gonna use an action point to take 2 more actions or 2 more attacks. 1 action, 2 more attacks. So next attack. Damn it. And attack after that.
That's a miss.
17
Worth
is a
it.
miss.
Oh, you're attacking recklessly? Yes, that's a hit then.
And with that one, I will use a second level smite.
So it's still up. It's looking rough now, though.
All right.
Not even sort of rough.
That's it.
Teal.
I'm going to attack the crocodile.
That's a hit. That's enough to kill it. Doubled. So you hear something crack in its mouth and its jaw goes limp as it falls to the floor.
Let's see. Who hurt me the most?
Probably the
Crocodile
owlbear.
really did. Crocodile did a good bit of damage.
Right.
But,
Crocodile definitely does the most damage, but the owlbear probably did the second most.
So then I'll shift my as my bonus action. I'll attack the the owlbear.
So 12 and 13 don't hit the owlbear.
All right. That'll be my turn then.
Nimrod will shoot the owlbear. Owlbear is still up though. Aurelia.
Eldritch Blast on the wolf.
That's a hit.
Good grief.
All 3 hits. Zarius.
I don't want to use any spell slots, so you guys are hitting the owlbear right now, right?
I've been
Yeah.
hitting the wolf.
Oh, okay. Then I'm gonna hit the wolf then with a good old Toll the Dead. Oof.
Wow.
I hope he fucking fails that.
Failed. So
Just
That's-
barely.
that is enough. You see the entire skin around the mechanism rots away, and there's just a frame there, but it begins to rattle, and you see a few bolts begin to fly off of it, and it collapses to the floor.
Nice.
8, 9, and 5 plus 5. It's a potent cantrips.
The owlbear no longer has his pack tactics, but it will attack T-hole.
And it's still
First
fairly
one.
effective.
Well, if it's equal, it hits.
Yep.
Or it's equal, it doesn't.
Meets beats.
It does.
Meets beats. Okay, so yeah, both hit.
And it's Lucharosi's turn.
How are you doing on hit points, Teal?
He's hurting real bad. Probably another 2 hits would do it.
Can I intersperse myself between T-hole and the owlbear?
You could try. The owlbear is sufficiently tall that it can, it towers over you. So it could reach over you and attack T-hole if it wanted to. You don't know if it will.
Okay. Well, I'll do my best to make myself a viable target. Attacking recklessly, first attack.
That's a hit.
Phew. Second attack.
That is also a hit. And not quite enough to kill it.
Third attack.
That's a hit. That's enough to end it. So you hear a crack and you see its leg seems to bend, and you begin to hear the sound of inside of it as gears begin to pop off of the axles they're spinning on. And it collapses one side first and then another and falls over, nearly landing on Lucia Rosie.
Luciosi's breathing heavily from his rage. Are you okay, T-Hole?
I'll be fine. I'll just need to rest.
Unfortunately, that's a luxury we can't afford.
Well, hopefully we don't run into anything else this dangerous then.
Do you still have the potion given to you by what was the guy
Seer.
The seer. I'd
the
fall.
seer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably.
You may wish to quaff it at this time. So I go over to the chest and say to Nimrod, so there's a silver lock.
Yes, in the back. We really should have probably looked this thing over before we popped it open.
Well, all right. So I'm going to take the silver key and open it.
You hear a click. It's not clear what it did though. The lid doesn't open from this particular side. The lid opens from the other side.
Okay. So, the lid was already open still, right? Or did somebody shut it?
Nimrod closed it after he cleaned it out.
Okay. So I would very cautiously open it.
So you open it and you see that the bottom of the chest is slightly off kilter now.
Okay.
It may have been beforehand because it was filled with gold before.
Okay. So I'm
But
going to.
Nimrod can confirm that that's a change.
So I'm gonna go ahead and try to remove the false bottom.
So it's not hard to do. It pops up in there. You see there is what looks a little bit like a meat hook. It doesn't have quite the handle that a meat hook would have, but it's a 1 foot long hook of the same blue metal as the dagger.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think this is what we were looking for. And I hold it up to the rest of the group.
Yes.
But
Good
likely.
find.
All right. Shall we attempt it then?
What are we going to do?
Put the pentagram key into the door and use the hook to try and pull the door handle.
That's my mistake. It's a pentagon key rather than a pentagram key.
That sounds reasonable to me.
Tomato, tomato.
All right, let's do this then. So Lucirosi will place the pentagonal key in place.
And the lightning again stops zapping the center of the door, and the hissing again begins from the dragon statue head.
And immediately then I'm going to use the hook to latch into the handle and begin pulling.
And the door creaks open.
But only
For the
so
record,
far. 'cause
the
there's a
dagger
fucking
also would have
anvil in the
worked.
way.
I was so proud. I was like, oh, Mike figured it out to use the weird dagger. And then it was like another hour of futzing around.
All right, so then once the door is open, Lucirosi is going to be the first to enter, brandishing his weapons.
So just a question. Are you taking that golden crystal? There are a couple items in here that people picked up that I don't know what they did with. Are you taking that golden crystal that you picked up with you that didn't shatter? You also found a spell book and the fake discoveries book. There are also other magic books that you didn't look at, but
I mean, T-Hole want to bring the golden crystal.
Yeah, I have the dagger, but I don't think any of the books would have interested Lucirosi.
right.
So you're saying that one of those books over there is magical?
There's the spell book that was magical that Lucirosi found when he did a search. There are 5 other magic books that nobody touched.
Okay. I'm gonna.
We can't just stay in this room. Or unless the poison stopped spewing in when the door opened.
You no longer
Yeah.
hear the hissing once the door opened.
Oh, okay.
Okay, good.
So, if
By the way, did Aurelia's clothing return to normal after the?
No. And in fact, just seconds after you open the door, your scepter rings 3 times forward this time.
so I just take since I guess I know one of these books are magical. I pull out the leather bound book of prison records that I grabbed out of the whatever tower we were in the prison, and I'm just going to switch places with whatever book I grab randomly.
Okay. You probably need Zarius to point out there's a lot of books here,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
he knows
which ones are
were the
magical?
magical ones. So roll
Sure.
me, I guess, a D5. or
I just say,
D10, and we'll divide by 2.
I just tell her, observe the acid splash patterns. You will notice that some of the books have been unharmed.
Yeah, some of the books do look like they're in rough shape and some look pristine.
Okay.
So roll me a D5 to see which one you pick up. So
number-
the first of them.
Yeah, the first of the books.
And so Lucirosi, I assume you left the spell book you found behind since it didn't interest you.
Yeah.
And what are you doing with the potion, the gray potion? T-hole.
Well, I drank a little bit of it and it didn't do anything.
Right, but that would happen with
Um,
any magic potion you just take a sip of. It won't have the effect of drinking the full potion.
I guess I would take it. I would take the other potions too, just because you never know. We might be
Okay.
able to get someone to identify them, or we could just drink them and hopefully they're good.
It could be descaling.
Now now I just have a picture. Descaling fluid is what they used to knock ice off planes. You just need one of the guys with the sprayers
Yep.
to just keep hitting you.
So I guess I got a spell book or just a magical book.
You don't know yet.
Okay. I know it's magical, so I just put it in my pack.
Right.
And I leave him with the prison book because maybe he wants to read that. And then I go over and I grab the painting and I grab it by the wire and pick it up. Now, granted, I know technically bards can't use a shield, but I'm going to grab this thing and hold it like this. And I've got the thing covering the front.
Okay.
I'm going to assume it doesn't weigh that much. And my strength isn't that bad. It's 11, so.
Right. So yeah, you can easily hang on to a painting.
Yep. Painting in one hand, my scepter in the other. Let's do this, bitches.
So beyond the doorway, you see there is a stairwell going up, a spiral staircase that leads up. You make your way up the stairway and come to a stone arch. Through the archway, you could see whether you have dark vision or not. There's no light inside. But as you step up to the archway, you can hear the sound of water and a very soft, gentle music is playing. As you cross the threshold, you do see a burst of light from the top of this room. It is probably about a 40-foot high ceiling. As a central pillar comes lowering down, atop which you see a figure that looks a lot like an enormous lion, possibly 12, maybe a little bit larger than that, feet long. It has a giant set of what look like hawk or eagle wings on the back of it. And the head is that of a somewhat stringy haired looking, but attractive human woman. The light above you cuts out. So only those of you with dark vision can see as this entire pillar descends into the floor. You do see that she is sitting in a nest of sorts that has been built on the top of this pillar. And she is looking out at you. Her voice shakes the room like thunder when she says, "Adventurers, you bring doom with you, both to your world and my own. Fate is not kind to any of us this day, but rebirth beckons, and I have a riddle for you." And that's where we can end it.
Nice.
I honestly did not expect that room would take the entire session.
I did. I'm like, there's a lot of
mean,
shit in this room. We're gonna be here
There's
a
a lot of
long time.
magical items, you know?
Yeah.
Like I said, we had to find all of the traps, all of the deadly things first.
Yes, you really did do that very well.
Since I have an action point left, can I spend it to regain a rage?
Sure.
Cool.
If anyone else has action points left and you want to spend it to get something back, that's fine.
It's very unusual for me to leave with action points.
I don't have enough action points for that.
It's fun. I'm looking forward to seeing what happens later with T-Hole's look at the deck.
Yeah, I have to keep that in mind, actually. The circumstances are a little bit rare, but not as rare with T-Hole as for any other character I've ever heard of. I mean, I will say, Aurelia, your scepter now basically just chimes on the hour. That's the magical effect. So other than that, it is still just a copper scepter.
Golly.
Everybody will know, what time it'll be. Does it change time zones with us?
Yeah, is it time
That's
zone?
the thing. It is keyed to your subjective time. So it'll always be accurate for you in a certain sense.
Okay.
Unless you get annoyed with this thing just constantly ringing like church bells, like at midnight.
I'm fucking ringing out 12 fucking times.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, can you like mute it? Like, does it have the concept of like
Like
do
cancel
not
alarm.
disturb?
Yeah.
Or is there's like maybe we could find like a some sort of covering over it that will muffle the sound.
Right.
Might be able to muffle it somewhat. Like certainly if you put it into the bag of holding, that would muffle it substantially.
I just imagine like it's got this copterceptor, but it has like kind of like the golf club head.
Right.
It's got like a big goofy sock on top of it.
I've thought about it and I am gonna share what T-Hole's effect was, because otherwise you might not understand what's happening. T-Hole's effect is that whenever T-Hole says his own name, booming, mocking laughter is emitted from the sky.
Yes. Yes.
That
Who's this
sounds
guy?
about right.
Well, I'm Emperor T-Hole.
That's perfect.
Just mocking, like, this fucking guy. Not this guy. Get off the stage.
There goes ruin. That ruins any chance of credibility.
Mm-hmm. Does it?
No,
Now the real question
getting in
is,
front of
the real question is, does the curse transfer through bodies? You know, if this body dies and you get reborn, obviously, right? Does the new body also have that lasting effect?
It just,
That's what I want to know.
well, it's also in how you phrase. Well, you wouldn't know, but once you learned it, it would just be how you phrased your sentence. You know, I
Right.
am T-Hole. I
Yeah.
will now mock you, for I am T-Hole, and then there's big laughter, and booming noise.
it's like I try to it just starts like trying to pull a George Costanza. Where you're trying to just like leave with a joke that ends with T-hole, and then like just walk out of the room.
Yeah, well, the
There was
jerk
actually-
store called and they're running out of you.
You.
Yeah, there was actually
Like-
one trap you guys missed, and the funny thing is, I made like a macro for it because it can inflict lingering injury. From the DOG table, lingering injuries.
Nice.
Some of them are bad, like lose a foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be
Good
interesting.
thing we missed that. When you had like the microscope, all I could think of was like the Rick and Morty episode of the Little
Yes.
Shop of Horrors, and they're like, and they pull the microscope like, yeah, this thing makes you dumb when you look into it. You think I'd fall for that? And I'm like, it's a microscope. It's gonna make you dumb when you look into it.
Yeah,
Um,
gonna make me
other-
retarded. I don't
So
think we
are
can use
these-
that term anymore.
Are these
No?
dragon lizard scales?
It's not clear. They're reptilian, definitely.
Okay.
Dragons
know-
are not reptiles.
I mean,
Aurelia has
you
been-
don't know of a dragon of that particular color.
Yeah, puke green.
there are no
The-
puke dragons.
Right, the vomit dragon.
Vomit. The hurler.
So it's probably more lizard scales.
Aurelia has experienced so much body horror, changing to a different race, and now
Right. I feel like her changing into a cat person was probably like Aurelia's dream, unless pony person was available. But this one was bad.
Oh yeah, yeah. That room cost me. That room cost me big time.
Fun session.
Yeah. I mean, actually, Lucia Rossi rolled really well on those cards. So he did really well. Zarius did okay. But yeah,
Yeah.
Aurelia. And she just kept going back to the well.
My mine fucked my whole bluff though.
Right,
You know how
that's
many
true.
times
For
we've gone
RP
through.
For RP purposes, it was not necessarily so good for you, but the effect was supposed to, I think, be a boon. Your
Yeah.
weapon becomes magical and does this lightning damage. And Deal's one of the few people who'd be like, fuck.
Well, it was good seeing you guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
So see you in 3
Alrighty.
weeks. See people in Peter's game Sunday.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to you later.
Bye.
All right. Later,
All right.
everyone.
Take it easy.